Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Well, good morning. Oh, hi. Hi to all of you. Good morning. Welcome in. It is a Tuesday. 5 days left to Christmas. Now is not the time to go to the mall. Just heads up. My wife and daughter did that yesterday. There is a gene present in some. And my wife and daughter have this gene where they purposely do things like they were at, I think it was the Galleria yesterday. After school, my daughter's school, my wife's work. And they go, and I got yelled at yesterday by my wife because they went to get Avery presents to give to her friends. She had saved up money to do all that, which is awesome. But I made a remark how she puts more effort into presents for her friends than she does presents for her mother. And by proxy, me, but I used her mother, so it didn't seem selfish, self-absorbed. And then my wife got on me for being mean. Not physically got on me. That would have been great, but you know what I mean. And then they came home, and all they did was yammer. Mason and I are just sitting watching the football game, being quiet and normal, and just watching the game. And they bust in. Of course, they have to show us everything they bought, and you have to pretend to care.
Of course you do.
And then when the show and tell was done, then they proceeded to chatter, mostly my daughter, about how terrible the mall was. And while my daughter was chatting, I heard the clink clink of glasses, and mommy needs a bourbon. And so everyone's stressed out about this thing. It's like you opted into this purposely when we have a perfectly good websites that you can buy things off of. But no, they have to touch and feel and smell. Of course. And, go through every
That's
shop.
Christmas.
Stand in the long lines, whine about the parking. Who opts into that?
Listen, I have no problem admitting that if you look at the inbox of my email right now, all it is Amazon order will be delivered at this time.
Yes.
That's
Same.
It. Sorry. There's a couple things I'm going to need that I can't get on there, but again, it's nothing that I'm going to have to brave the elements for, so to speak.
No. And listen,
it's really nice now because all the family members put wish lists for the kids and stuff. It's really convenient.
You organize. And everyone's forgotten something last minute. We've all bought the thing at Winco or your local grocery store on the end cap that, the slippers and mittens, or, oh, hey, here's a golf club for
stocking stuff.
Right. We've all had to do that last minute. We've all had last minute, oh, I forgot this for Christmas dinner thing. We've all been there, but they opt in. It's a yearly tradition, and every year they hate it. So why do you do it? Welcome back.
Thanks.
How you doing?
I'm better. Not at 100, but I'm better.
Why don't you can just be honest? You seem like you were on the bus of struggle today,
dude. It's just the old stomach just ain't really keeping anything in.
Which and I said this to you this morning. That's apart from the normal stomach just doesn't keep anything in.
Let's put it this way. I've been here since about 4:45ish. I've already had to run to the restroom probably 4 different times.
Saw that about 2 minutes before.
Yeah, it's just not fun, but it's I don't feel nauseous. I don't feel sick, no fever, nothing like that.
Everything just
the old tum-tums just ain't right.
It's a great diet.
It's not, though.
You're going to lose weight.
You will, but then you start feeling dehydrated when you can't keep anything in.
Better drink a lot of water.
Well, I'm trying. It just won't stay in.
Really? The water?
Yeah. So I'm sipping the water.
You need a chairlet.
What's a chairlet?
You never heard of a chairlet?
No.
It's a chair that's a toilet. And you sit on the chair, and then you don't have to move, and then you just hit the button, and it flies. It doesn't exist.
I was gonna say it feels like an HR violation.
Yeah. Well, it's especially if you get other people in there. That might be an issue. Yeah. Let's get started. Unfortunately, We've got a lot to cover today.
Yeah, we do.
Leading off right now, please.
Let's do it. It's time for Leading Off. Brought to you by Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, where for over 60 years, their name means a great deal in Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com. Here's cut number 1.
Yeah.
No good. Ball game over. So, 125-119. Give credit to Steve Clifford and the Hornets. Their first win since the 2nd of December. Sacramento can look at a variety of things tonight that ended up costing them. The beam will not be lit this evening in Doko.
It won't. It will not.
No beaming.
The beam was off. Beam was off.
You know, I get it. Dave Fry.
On the streets. Yeah.
That game was like my stomach.
It really was. Now, you were not here yesterday.
I was not.
It was Nate the Animal Littlefield. And had you been here yesterday, you would have been a part of, I think the theme to the show yesterday was, this is a trap game. This is the first game back from a road trip. We all forget sometimes that the first game back from a long road trip, 99.9% of the time, is weird. Sometimes you can recover. Sometimes you cannot. But it's always weird. So don't take anything for granted. Kings were favored by 10 last night.
Yeah.
And what happened? The two stars absolutely went ballistic. Fox and Sabonis had wonderful games. And the rest of the team didn't. And they had their worst free throw shooting night of the year. And finally, and I've been saying this all year, I can't say it anymore, they finally had a bad loss. You can argue the Knicks was a bad loss. That was at Madison Square Garden. They've won 6 in a row. You could argue the Bucks was a bad. It's the Bucks. This is their first bad loss through 30 games, I think, something like that. It's their first bad loss. They lost to the worst team right now in the NBA, which is a little bit of a mirage, and we talked about that too. Charlotte's starting to get healthy. They have not been healthy all year. They haven't had LaMelo Ball for much of the year, and he's getting back in the groove, and you saw what he can do in the fourth quarter with that assy-looking shot of his that somehow goes in. So credit to Charlotte coming in off a back-to-back with Denver, a close game in which the starters played a lot. Terry Rozier out, and they come in and they win on the Kings' home floor. Yeah,
it's one of those, I hate to call them anomaly games because they're not really an anomaly. They happen, like you said, every year. This is just kind of a thing. And I do think, though, when you look at this loss, I look, like you said, it's the first bad loss. So you can't look way too much into it. But there were some holes exposed last night that I know we're going to talk about today that I saw, that you saw. And it really comes down to, man, Fox, Sabonis, and...
Right. Fox, Sabonis, and it's got to be someone else.
Got to be.
And last night, not much of anyone else. Alex and by the way, hello to everybody on the YouTube and on the regular chat, 916-339-1140 is your text line. You can go to Sactown Sports if you're not already there and watch this. Alex says, we fell asleep on D.
Falling asleep means you showed up.
Yeah.
They didn't show up on defense last night. Mike Brown was... he was on that in the post game pretty bad.
And I hope
the defense was atrocious
runs
last
him into
night.
the ground today. Number 2.
Cut number 2.
The Green Bay Packers take care of business in the season of hope. In Green Bay with a 24-12 victory over the Rams. They keep hope alive.
I got a call from my buddy late last night after this game because
after the Kings or the Rams?
No, the Rams. He had 2 prop bets that he loves. He had the over on 1.5 field goals by each team. 2 separate bets. Hit it early with Matt Gay and the Rams. All they needed was a stinking field goal out of the Packers, and they kept going for it on 4th down. 3 opportunities, and they went for it on 4th down. Stupid Packers, idiots. 24-12. See, I'm angry on behalf of him for losing that bet. 24-12. Why do we care? We don't really care. This is a dumb game between 2 dumb teams that don't really matter this year.
What are you talking about? The Packers still have hope.
Yeah,
Did you not hear the final call?
They're in the hunt.
They're in the hunt.
Wouldn't that be hilarious? It would be so Aaron Rodgers-y if they somehow backed into the playoffs, and then we look up and they're in the NFC Championship game.
Again.
It's like the Packers and Niners because the Packers beat the Eagles or something. I don't even know if that would work bracket-wise. We'll talk a little bit about this game, but mostly about the Rams. This is the first time since 2015, 16, somewhere around there, that the defending Super Bowl champion did not make or will not make the playoffs. The Broncos were the last team to do that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And finally, number 3.
Cut number 3.
And they stink. And now there's a penalty flag. They throw a penalty flag. The touchdown is they call the touchdown.
Yeah.
Did you cut it off? Did you cut that off?
I didn't touch it.
Oh.
I didn't touch it.
The horror. I thought there was more to that.
I didn't touch it. Jalen Hurts. That's your whole story. It's a complete sentence and everything. Jalen Hurts, and we're going to talk about that when we get started with that situation in Philly and how that could possibly affect the Niners. We're back in just 1 minute.
Log on to Sactown Sports' YouTube channel following every Kings game this season for the Sactown Sports Kings Recap. Carmichael Dave, Nick Cattles, Rami Makloff, and Chris Watkins interact with you directly after every Kings game all season long. Subscribe now and get notifications by searching for Sactown Sports on YouTube.
Kings get the victory, and the celebration continues
On Sactown Sports, the flagship station of your Sacramento Kings.
It's the Henley's Davis Kia year-end sales event. Kia Season of Giving Back with our biggest inventory of the year. Most models in stock now. Get our best price now with no hassle, no headache, no games. Here's how it works. Go to HenleysDavisKia.com. That's HANLEES DavisKia.com. Pick the model you're interested in and click Unlock Instant Best Price. It's that easy. No hassle, no games, just our best low price. Special financing available. Look for a great deal on a new Kia without playing games. Go to HANLEES DavisKia.com. Pick your model and click Unlock Instant Best Price. That's it. Big savings, great deal, and no hassle. Our biggest inventory of the year in stock now. Henley's Davis Kia, located at 4318 Childs Road, just off I-80 at the Maze Boulevard exit in Davis. All of us at Henley's wish you and your family a very happy holiday. All financing subject to credit approval.
Stimulating conversation about kitchen gadgets and baseball cards.
I think that's really crazy interesting.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Balls for the football. He's going to run. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Goodbye! Touchdown! Hurts under center. Sneaks. And he's in! Touchdown, Eagles! And they sneak. And there was a penalty flag. They throw a penalty flag. The touchdown is they call the touchdown. Goes forward, now goes left and walks into the end zone.
So I played those highlights all in a row on purpose. No accident there. That was the lowly Bears playing the Eagles in one of those games. Hey, much like last night with Kings and Charlotte, it's just one of those trap games for the Eagles.
Right.
They came tantalizingly close to losing for only their second loss all year. The reason I played those highlights all in a row was to help illustrate, in case you didn't know, that Jalen Hurts is incredibly important to that Eagles team. For example,
some would say he's the best player on the team.
Some would say 25-20 was your final. What you just heard there was Jalen Hurts personally accounting for 20 of those 25 points. 3 touchdown runs, the 2-point conversion. He personally, and obviously, you need a line and this and that. I get it, but Jalen Hurts incredibly important to that team. He is, I think you could say, the likely MVP.
It's hard to vote against him right now. I was thinking it's interesting you brought that. I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, who really sticks out above Hurts, at least on the offensive side?
I can't. You can't vote against the guy with those numbers and a 12-1 record.
Well, that's just the thing, right? It's the numbers are one thing, but it's the fact that they're 12-1.
Yeah.
With those numbers, I could not find anybody in the NFC that should have been above him as far as MVP voting.
No, not at all. And you're talking about a guy who's top 10 in passing yards, which is great and neat and all that. It's what you look at beyond that. 22 touchdowns in the air against just 5 interceptions.
And 2 of the 5 came against the Bears.
That's right.
In that trap game.
Almost half. And then when you look on the ground, 747 yards and 13 touchdowns rushing. That's just silly. That's silly for a quarterback. That's silly for anyone. And just to give you an idea, Jamal Williams of Detroit leads the league in touchdowns as a running back at 14. And that's a whole different story. That's actually interesting because he's the backup running back technically to DeAndre Swift in Detroit. But you got Jalen Hurts right behind him at 13 as a QB. He's the MVP. It's a foregone conclusion. He doesn't want to lose.
I just want to win. That's what we want to do, regardless of the circumstance. Never waver. Stay true to what you believe in, and stay true to the process and how you prepared and trusting in that. And like I said, I think we did that as a football team.
Okay, so we're doing this big preamble on Jalen Hurts. Why? Because Jalen hurts. He hurts. He's injured. Jalen
Look
Hurts.
at you.
See that?
Look at you.
Yeah, I've been waiting years.
Guaranteed nobody even thought of that.
No, not anywhere. It's an exclusive joke to us. He sprained his throwing shoulder against the Bears. Not considered long-term, but he is very questionable. Very questionable for Saturday's Christmas Eve game against the Cowboys. And I got to be honest with you, dude. If I'm in Philadelphia, here's exactly what I'm looking at. The Philadelphia Eagles have clinched a playoff spot. Now, they are 3 games ahead of the Dallas Cowboys with 3 games remaining. They finish against the Cowboys. They have a home game against the Saints, and then they play at home versus the Giants. It would be, and again, I'm assuming that this doesn't magically go away. If Jalen Hurts is anything less than 90% on Saturday, it would be malpractice to play this guy. I mean, malpractice. They need one win to not only clinch the division, but to clinch the number 1 seed, I believe.
Yeah, the only thing right now that could happen to really affect them is if the Vikings were to win out and they were to lose out, or I think if the Vikings win 2 of the next 3 and the Eagles win 2 of the next 3, but Vikings.
You take care of business.
Or if the 49ers win, I know if the 49ers win out and the Eagles were to lose out, then yeah, the Niners get
it. That's not, you beat the Saints. At minimum. You play the Cowboys without Jalen Hurts. You let Minshew come in. And if they lose that game, again, if he can go, sure, maybe you play him against the Saints. You play him against the Saints maybe for a half, try to run it up, sit everybody after that, and you're done. No Jalen Hurts, no Eagles playoff run.
No. This
is not a Nick Foles situation. No. This is not that. Gardner Minshew is not Brock Purdy. Not everybody can be perfect. It's a very, very serious thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and you just look at it from that standpoint. It's not only do you not want to, you never want to, I'm a big proponent of not playing guys until if they're going to not be a factor on the field, which is spraining your shoulder is no joke.
Your throwing shoulder.
Yeah. Also, given what you like to do on the ground, you're much more likely to re-injure said shoulder, because that's how the shoulder was injured in the first place, was getting taken down. I'm with you. I sit the guy until he's 100% healthy, because even if, like, worst case scenario, right? And I don't envision this happening, but he's not healthy for the next few weeks, you're not feeling comfortable, where's the worst you end up? 2?
Right.
Maybe 3 at the absolute worst.
Much rather have 3 with Hurts than 1 without him.
And that's that's the larger point I want to get to, is this team has to look at this from a long-term perspective, which is a playoff perspective. Mm-hmm. You would rather, again, instead of having the 1 seed and possibly no Jalen Hurts, the 2 or 3 seed with a healthy Jalen Hurts, you have to, if you're the Eagles, be confident enough in your organization and in your team to know that, hey, even without the bye, we still feel we can get to the Super Bowl as long as that guy is healthy behind center.
How important is Jalen Hurts to the Philadelphia Eagles? The line on the game Sunday morning in Dallas opened as a pick'em. Monday morning, Dallas was a 1.5-point favorite. The line still began to grow. As of 1 p.m. our time yesterday, the Cowboys were as high as a 6-point favorite. That is a stupid amount of points for a single player.
Yeah, no, essentially over a 24-hour span at that.
Also affected the MVP voting too. Jalen Hurts began the week as the odds-on favorite, was listed at minus 145, meaning you'd have to bet $145 to win 100 with him being the favorite. By 4 p.m. yesterday, Patrick Mahomes was the new favorite at minus 150. Actually, it'd be kind of an interesting, there might be some value there putting money on Hurts now if he's not the favorite. Mahomes is. Either way, remember, Dallas was a 6.5-point underdog to Philly in week 6. Dak Prescott also missed that game as well. So, yeah, to our point, I should say, you can't play him this weekend.
No.
Take the L. You're not going for an undefeated season. And then, as the Patriots will tell you, there's no trophies for that.
Nope.
Undefeated regular season. You take the L. You try to take care of business versus the Saints. Because here's the other thing.
You got to imagine Gardner Minshew can win one of those 3 games.
I would think so.
If it came down to needing him for all 3.
I would think so. Here's the deal. If I'm on the Cowboys too, and you might look at this as dirty, but if Jalen Hurts is in that game and I get my hands on him, I might take myself a 15-yard roughing the passer play to land on him a little bit if I can. It's dirty, but it's football.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think you need to be dirty. I would just, if I were the Cowboys, I'm just bringing the house.
Well, they're
going to
bring
the blitz.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to hit the guy.
And listen, the shoulder's not going to affect his running.
No.
He's still going to be able to, so you got to be careful there. But any Cowboy that gets his hands on Jalen Hurts may take him to the ground a little bit extra there. You knock Jalen Hurts out of the game, you're probably going to win the ball game.
Yeah, and if you knock him out of the game, you've likely knocked him out the next 2 weeks.
That's exactly right. And they cannot afford to miss Jalen Hurts for any part of the playoffs, or it just becomes a wasted year for them. We'll take a break. The defending champions will not defend. We will get to that at 6:43 as we continue football talk. But coming up next, let's look back, as much as we don't want to, at last night's Kings loss. We'll do that right after this.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sactown Sports.
He scores the triple. Kevin Herter from downtown.
Hey Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
American Energy wants to make sure you and your family are safe this winter with a $49 furnace tune-up. Plus, if you're ready for a new one, get half off with American Energy's 50% off furnace special. With 0% financing and payment plan options available, there's no reason to keep putting off making your home safe, warm, and comfy for you and your family this holiday. Call American Energy today at 916-520-9990 or visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. 50% off furnace when you purchase a whole home HVAC system. Limited time only. Cannot be combined with other offers or specials.
Christmas time is here, and so are all of the greatest deals on power tools at Fastener's Tool Outlet. Enjoy 12 days of deals on all your favorite brands going on now. Grab free batteries with tons of Makita products and more of this year's greatest deals. Save $100 on a Makita 18-volt rear handle circular saw and take home 2 free batteries to top it off. Stop by Fastener's Tool Outlet at 6701 Power Inn Road today through December 23rd, or shop online at fastenersinc.net.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. If you're a small business owner, listen up. Pi Insurance wants to give you one of those aha moments, the kind that could save you money. Workers' comp is probably one of the biggest costs you face. But did you know that insurance providers have flexibility in setting their prices? That's right, but many don't bother giving small businesses the savings you deserve. Instead, you can get lumped in with other businesses and overcharged. Pi Insurance was created to change that. With Pi, you get a quote tailored specifically to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. And with helpful representatives just a call away, it's easy to understand why Pi is rated excellent by customers on Trustpilot. Take 3 minutes to see how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or go to trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
Updated COVID vaccines are here, just in time for the season that brings us all closer. Just in time for added protection against the original COVID virus and Omicron. Just in time for crowded stores and great big family dinners. Updated COVID protection is here. And if you haven't had a vaccine since September, it's time to give yourself the gift of updated protection. Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Do you take pride in your holiday gift purchases? Or are you someone who just wants to get the whole gift buying ordeal over with? Hi, Doug Christie here, and I'm both. I do like giving great gifts, but I don't have tons of time to do so. So if you're like me, listen closely. Plus, I'll even save you 20% during the holiday season. I'm talking about Good Feet Arch Supports. Surprise? You shouldn't be. At last count, roughly 80% of all adults suffer or will suffer from foot-related pain issues. These tend to be active people and people working on their feet, anywhere from 35 to 64. Sound like anyone on your gift list? And during the holidays, when you buy a Good Feet Arch Support gift certificate, the Good Feet store will add 20% to its value. That's a 20% bonus free. And remember, Good Feet Arch Supports come with a lifetime warranty. So you're giving a lifetime of unmatched comfort, balance, and support. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, and Modesto. Online, goodfeet.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Holiday gift giving is right around the corner, and the good news is that golfers are an easy group to buy for. Every year, someone releases the next best answer to the age-old question, how do I get the ball in the hole in less strokes? The best answers to that question are lessons and a personal club fitting. Now, you don't have to shell out $500 for a new driver. Your golfer will be thrilled to receive less expensive gifts like a golf glove or a woolen cap or a rain hat for winter play, or maybe a stocking stuffer like new golf spikes. You can't have enough golf balls, but golfers like to play a certain brand, so check the golf bag for clues. Speaking of bags, a new golf bag is always a treat. Golf lasers and GPS units are among the hottest gifts right now, and a swing trainer is a great idea if you know a fair weather golfer who won't be seen again until April. Gift certificates always work for play, for lessons, or for anything else your golfer won't purchase for themselves. Check with your local pro shop or PGA professional. They can help you decide the right gift for your golfer. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Sactown Sports headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Kings opened up a 6-game homestand against the lowly Charlotte Hornets, and in the end came up short.
Just a herder, turns, fires for three, no good, ball game over. So, 125-119, give credit to Steve Clifford and the Hornets. Their first win since the 2nd of December. Sacramento can look at a variety of things tonight that ended up costing them. The beam will not be lit this evening in Doko.
Despite the beam not being up last night, Sabonis continued his all-star level play, scoring 28 points while pulling down 23 rebounds and adding 7 assists. The Kings looking to get back in the win column tomorrow night against the Lakers. The defending Super Bowl champion Rams were still technically in playoff contention last night, but the Packers ended any hope of LA making it back to defend their title.
The Green Bay Packers take care of business in the season of hope in Green Bay with a 24-12 victory over the Rams. They keep hope alive.
The Packers remain a game and a half behind the Commanders for the final playoff spot in the NFC. Coming up today, former NFL quarterback Sean Salisbury joins the show at 8:13 from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Got a take? Make sure it's a hot one.
Take a shot right now.
Call or text at 916-339-1140. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
I wanted to bring this on the air, and I did in the last segment. I just want this to roll around everybody's brains, because one thing I love about this audience, and you, Jay, is that you're all kind of nutbaggy like me. My friend and I were playing this game last night during the Kings game, based on my amazing joke after the injury that Jalen Hurts. Athletes whose names are complete sentences.
Mm-hmm.
So Jalen Hurts, it's a sentence. What I did find out yesterday is there are a lot of people that don't understand what a complete sentence is, and that's fine. But just some quick examples for you before we move on here. Davis Mills. because he does, right? Mills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Aaron Banks, right? Stephon Diggs. Mm-hmm. This is an oldie but a goodie. Montreal Expos. Razor Shines. It's kind of a complete yes or a complete thing. You get the point. The late, great, my favorite college basketball player of all times, Hank Gathers. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you guys to roll that around a little bit. Ricky Waters. And we'll take your contributions on the YouTube page or on the text line 916-339-1140. Yeah, I'm stalling. I'm stalling on purpose, Jay. I don't want to talk about last night's game. I don't want to talk about it because it sucked. And it was incredibly predictable. Oh, wait. We predicted it yesterday. And I say that with no sense of pride or I told you so. Just sucks. First game back from a road trip. It never fails. I'd love to see. I honestly would love to see. This would be a very interesting research project. Teams returning from a road trip in the month of December of 3 games or more. Kings were on a 6-game road trip against the spread on their first home game back. I'll just bet you it's a ridiculous number. And as we talked about yesterday, it's not like these guys come home and they've got to hang Christmas lights and pick up the kids from school and, fix the leaky faucet and clean. They're millionaires, and many of them are either single or have help around the house or what. I'm not trying to overstate the burden, but it's a thing. It's a thing. And I've never played NBA basketball, so I can't tell you the intricacies. As a matter of fact, we'll talk to Kevin Herter about it this week and see what the heck is going on. And some of the telltale signs are shots going off the front rim and a lack of rebounding. In other words, things that involve your legs. The Kings were 17 of 31 from the free throw line yesterday, which is 54.8%. Quick math tells you they missed 14 free throws, and they lost by 6. 14 free throws, and they lost by 6. This is a team that shoots 78% from the line. I'm going to pull out my iPhone here. Quick math, 78%, right? Okay, so let's take this. Is this how you do it? 31 times 0.78. That's 24.18 free throws. If you just shoot your average, that's 7 extra points. If they just shoot the average. 7 extra points? Oh, 126, 125. Kings win. Kings win. Kings win. Didn't happen. And what we're going to focus on a little bit today, first off, Domantas Sabonis, the All-Star. I'm glad that people are starting to really embrace that and say it freely and clearly that Domantas Sabonis minus barring some crazy thing that happens, whether it's an injury or a slump or whatever between now and the All-Star voting ends. He is a shoo-in All-Star, a shoo-in, an absolute shoo-in, especially with Anthony Davis on the shelf for a month. He's a shoo-in. The only question really is, will the Kings have 2 All-Stars? De'Aaron Fox last night is the one on the bubble, 37 points on 14 of 25 shooting, and a weird anomaly, 37 and 5 on very efficient shooting. And he made 7 of 9 free throws. Wasn't him, but he was the only player in the starting lineup with a negative plus-minus. Sabonis was +6, Barnes +2, Murray +8, Herter +6, De'Aaron Fox -20. And that's sometimes where stats get away a little bit. because I don't have an explanation for that, and I'd love to see that. You can go. I can hear people thinking, well, it's got to be his defense. Yeah, but prove that. We can say things, but I can't draw a line between De'Aaron Fox and that minus 20. Even if his defense was subpar, minus 20. 37-5. I'll take that any day from Fox on that kind of efficiency. In 34 minutes, he said before the game, he's feeling as good as he's felt in a month. And Domantas Sabonis, 28, 23, and 7. He breaks the Kings record that was shared by DeMarcus, Scott Pollard, and Tank Thompson for rebounds and a half. Breaks the record for a longest streak of what was it? 2010 and 5, I think. 28, 23, and 7. That is a Jokic style line. And by the way, 28, 23, and 7 should have been 28, 23, and about 12. But 3/4 of the team couldn't shoot last night. Remember, to get an assist, the other guy has to make the shot. And there were about 8 open looks created by Domantas Sabonis that were not converted. $45 made baskets, 23 assists. I mean, that's fine. They're right around half. And they shot 47.5% from the field. They only turned the ball over 8 times. Charlotte turned the ball over 14 times. They went to the line 31 times. Charlotte went to the line 23 times. They outshot Charlotte from beyond the arc. They were out-rebounded 56-42. If there's stats you want to look at, it's very, very easy. They were out-rebounded by 14, and they shot 55% from the line, and I'm rounding up. That's your loss. That's your ball game. That's it. That is your ball game. You can poke and prod at other things.
You know what's crazy about that when you talk about the rebounding is, and it's not by a ton, obviously, but the backcourt, Herter and Fox, doubled Barnes and Murray on rebounds last night.
Yeah.
I've been saying this for a while. I think one of the Achilles heels of this team is that the lack of rebounding from the forward positions, like, it is really bad.
One rebound from Keegan Murray in 31 minutes is ridiculous. There's way too much not following your shot either.
No.
There's way too much standing and staring with your hand out after the shot. One last stat for you as we break. You mentioned rebounds. Here's what cannot happen. We were talking about Domantas Sabonis' monster game last night, 28 and 23 to go with 7 assists. 23 rebounds is ridiculous. It's also over half of the 42 rebounds the Kings got as an entire team last night. When Domantas Sabonis has more than half of your rebounds, good for him, that's a problem.
Well, yeah, because he has to get off the floor at some point during the game. Again, he played 40 minutes last night.
Yeah.
And it's those 8 minutes or even, less than 8 minutes he's not on the floor. The Kings get murdered.
They got
killed.
Absolutely murdered. It's ridiculous. When you look at the Charlotte numbers and their starting lineup for rebounds, and Richards 11 off the bench in 23 minutes, it's silly. We'll take a break. The defending champs will not defend. The fall of the Rams and some other NFL notes before we get back to Kings next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports 1140. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people that play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports 1140. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility, and Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality, and Safe Credit Union. Let us put you first.
The new Fords have arrived at Folsom Lake Ford. I know you've been waiting for a new F-150 or maybe an Explorer or Expedition. Guess what? Folsom Lake Ford has them. Your truck headquarters for over 30 years right here in Sacramento is all stocked up with new Fords and used vehicles. Save with low interest financing on your favorite new models and 0 down deals available on all new and used vehicles with approved credit. Get top dollar for your trade, making your monthly payment on your new Ford even lower. Folsom Lake Ford is the only dealership I recommend to my friends. A Triple Crown Award winner for sales, service, and finance. Highway 50 Folsom exit, or browse fresh inventory online at folsomlakeford.com. It's updated almost daily. And if you can't find what you're looking for, give them a call. Tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life or your choices with just one wrong pill. Find medically proven treatment options at choosemat.org.
We are in the giving spirit here at RC Willey. Hurry in to wrap up your holidays with huge savings throughout the store. Holiday savings in furniture, mattresses, appliances, electronics, and flooring. RC Willey in Rockland and South Sacramento near Elk Grove. RC Willey, your home, your way.
Today I'm at Elk Grove Dodge, where it looks like Vince Bloom, the big guy,
also known as Father Christmas.
Well, yeah, Vince, you are dressed like Santa, which means you must be giving out some sweet deals for the holidays.
There's nothing sweeter than saving money on trucks.
So I can expect some big savings on, say, new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorns?
You read Santa's mind. Right now, during the Big Finish event at Elk Grove Dodge, save $12,000 off MSRP on new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s.
Vince, $12,000 off new 2022 Bighorn Crew Cabs?
That's right.
$12,000 is a lot of money, and you've got enough for all of Santa's helpers because, you know, we've been very good this year.
I sure do. I've got 15 of these new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s, and they're all $12,000 off MSRP, starting at $42,520.
Now through January 3rd, save $12,000 on 15 new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s.
Only at Elk Grove Dodge, in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, and online at elkgrovedodge.com.
Include $6,000 in 2022 Big Finish and California retail bonus and bonus cash. Sample VIN 455, 158, expires 1/3/23.
Carmichael Dave here, letting you know when the housing market shifts quickly like it has the last few months, having the right mortgage company on your side is crucial in this ever-changing market. We've got just that lender. It's my guy Shelby at United Wholesale Lending. And you can check them out at refinancewithshelby.com. They're fast, they're local, and competitive. Shelby's team, as I've told you for years, is well known in the real estate market from real estate agents, title companies, appraisal companies. United Wholesale Lending will even get your offer fully underwritten and approved upfront so you can compete with the cash offers. With the increase in inventory, the market has shifted from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Buyers now have the opportunity to shop for the home that's right for them instead of settling for what was available. You can always refi as soon as rates come down, or United Wholesale Lending has alternative loan options like a 2-1 buy down. Refinancewithshelby.com. That's refinancewithshelby.com. NMLS number 279051. BRA number 01864354.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopier.com.
The 94th most popular celebrity from Carmichael
How popular do you want to be?
meets a Celtics broadcasting legend.
Celtics are going to go for the win. Everybody here at Golden One Center on their feet.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Of course, there's a lot of Tuesday morning quarterbacking we're all doing about last night's game before we get into the Rams and their death of the Super Bowl defense. Should De'Aaron Fox have had more assists last night? Yeah, but let's be fair. If I'm going to bring up, and I don't think it's questionable, that Domantas Sabonis had 7 assists last night, in part because his teammates weren't making some of the shots he set up for them, I think it's equally as fair to say that De'Aaron Fox had 2 assists in part because of that. Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't distribute more, but what do you want? 37 points on efficient shooting. You cannot win a ball game. You cannot win a ball game if you don't score more points than the other opponent. Somebody has to make those shots. And other than Sabonis and Fox, they got 31 points out of that starting lineup.
And I think you're referring to the chat, and I understand this point of if we're going to pick on Keegan for only getting 1 rebound, then you have to look at Fox only getting 5 assists. Again, I understand the spirit of what's trying to be done, but a lot of assist is based upon the other person, A, making the basket, also B, majority of the offense runs through Domas anyways.
That's the thing. They've made a choice to do that.
Whereas rebounding is something you kind of control as a player more than, assist numbers.
Yeah,
so,
you don't need a second player to convert your rebound.
Correct. And it's just, to me, there's no defense. And when you're, pointing out again the assist, it's kind of whataboutism.
Yeah.
There's no defense to, again, Murray and Barnes combining for 4 rebounds. There's really no defense.
No, there
there
isn't. And I would also point out, to your point, De'Aaron Fox is averaging 5.6 assists this year, which is exactly what he averaged last year. Both are the second lowest behind his rookie year. He's averaged as high as 7.3 assists. Here's the difference. As you said, he's still averaging the same amount of assists he had last year with the offense running through Domantas Sabonis. Don't get caught up in traditionalism. Domantas Sabonis is effectively your main distributor and point guard. That's who it is.
The entire offense runs through him.
He is a point center in almost the exact same mold as Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
And De'Aaron Fox is a secondary distributor at best.
I don't think Nuggets fans will point out like, man, Murray needs to be getting more assists than Jokic. Jamal Murray, that is. Because no. And De'Aaron's more of a scoring guard anyways. Like you said, don't get caught up in traditionalist where the point guard has to lead the team in assists.
Right.
Because now in today's game, the point guard is not always the de facto runner of the offense.
And Davion Mitchell last night had 5 assists. They're pointing out to De'Aaron's 2. And again, part of that is Davion looking to distribute more. That is for sure. But he's also not he's not the offensive weapon. 3 of 4 last night, but he's not the offensive weapon. Fox is number 1. Number 2, Davion Mitchell played 21 minutes, and I want to say at least half of those minutes were in the 7 or 8 minutes Sabonis did not play.
Yeah, someone had to pass the ball.
Someone had to pass the ball.
Neither De'Aaron nor Davion are knowing for their distribution when it comes to the offensive side of the ball.
No, and Kevin makes a great point too in the chat that a lot of Fox's distribution comes from penetrate and dish, and he's penetrating and dishing to the 3-point shooters who aren't making 3-point shots last night. So that's a problem. Anyways, we'll get back to that a little bit more later. Last night, Rams visited a very, very, very chilly Green Bay, which is how it should be in December, and it was Baker Mayfield did a thing.
Mayfield, silent count in the gun. 3 to his left, 1 to his right. Sets his feet and fires, end zone, leaping catch. Tyler Higbee, his first touchdown catch of 2022. He spikes it and becomes the Rams' all-time leader at tight end with that scoring grab.
That's a weird call. I mean, just a weird fact. His first touchdown late in the season, and then he becomes the Rams, which, by the way, is an old franchise, old enough, all-time tight end leader in touchdowns. Ernie Conwell, I would have thought, had that one, old school Rams tight end. But that made it 24-12. And that would be your final. Baker Mayfield, even though they lost, said he felt a bit more comfortable.
Definitely a lot more comfortable coming into this week, just timing-wise, preparation-wise. And there were a few things that just game plan-wise that, it'll be little stuff on the tape. But made strides, made progress today. We didn't have the outcome we wanted, missed a lot of opportunities, but I felt definitely a lot more comfortable.
And that's going to do it on the Rams season as far as playoffs go. Obviously, they were effectively out of it and have been effectively out of it for a while. The Rams in the NFC West, 4-10, tied with the Arizona Cardinals, who've lost 4 in a row. Now, Sean McVay is not going anywhere. Let's be very clear about that. This is not a...
by the retirement talk.
Well, you know what?
That's a young retirement.
I'll step back. Sean McVay will not be forced to go anywhere. Now listen. If Sean McVay says, hey, I want a title with the Rams, I'm going to step back. Because here's what I would do if I'm Sean McVay, and I'm not. Because he's, 37, 38, something silly. So
he's around my age, which is insane to think about.
It's kind of sad, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like so unaccomplished.
So if I'm Sean McVay and I'm 36 years old, which is what he is.
He's younger than me.
36.
I don't like this segment. Pick a new one.
And what I would do, I don't know if he has kids, but I do know, speaking of hating your life, he married a former model.
God, imagine having to deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Here's what I maybe do at the end of the year. I say, you know what? I'm assuming if they don't have children, they're about to, and again, that's just an assumption. I have no idea. I don't have any insight into the personal life of Sean McVay, but it's around that age you do that. So if I'm him, I say, you know what? I am going to step back. I got them a Super Bowl. I got a ring. I'm 34, 35 years old. I'm going to go into the booth. I'm going to make a butt ton of money. And I'm just going to chill. And you know what I'm going to do?
He's going to pull a John Gruden.
That's exactly what he should do. If I'm Sean McVay, I'm going to go John Gruden. I'm going to go Bill Cowher. I'm going to step in the booth, and I'm going to become the most coveted, rumored coach in NFL history, probably. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sit in that booth, and I'm not going to tell anybody this, but I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait because inevitably the 49ers job's going to open up. Maybe in 2 years, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 8 years. But Kyle Shanahan's not going to coach the 49ers for 20 years. He's not going to coach the 49ers for 10 years. It's just not how it works.
He's got 6.
He's got 6. He might get close. He may get 10. At some point, that's going to open up, and maybe a 40-ish year old Sean McVay goes home to the franchise where his family meant so much, finishes out his NFL career, or at least puts in another 5-10 years, gets a nice fat contract, but he gets to see his babies get born, gets to be with them. So my point is this: Sean McVay is not going to get fired.
But we're also saying he's not going to retire when we say step back. That's different.
He's no.
Because there's the idea that he's going to retire, I think, at that age is just silly.
And as far as the Rams go, before we break, I think when you do the autopsy on their season, it's quite simple. They got injured.
Yeah.
All over the place. The Cam Akers thing was extremely weird. Odell Beckham Jr. wasn't necessarily the key there, but their receiving core.
He's a big part of that team, though, late in the season. Robert Woods going to Tennessee.
Yeah.
You know, Robert Woods really held that offense together for a lot of years.
And I think they thought Van Jefferson would step up and take over a little bit. And who's the guy why do I forget? Who's the receiver?
Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson, thank you. Did absolutely nothing
Their
for them.
run game was atrocious this year. Stafford played hurt all year.
Right. Listen, they'll recoup and regroup, and I expect them to be a competitive force next season. We will take a break. When we come back, hey, listen, with a incredible week in the books. We've got NFL power rankings coming up later. Don't worry about that. But let's look ahead. Let's just pause. We'll get back to last night's game, but let's look ahead to Wednesday, where hopefully a very angry Kings team will be taking on what still might be their rival, the LA Lakers. We'll talk about it next.
Hey, Kings fans, you got questions? We got answers. Send all your Kings questions to kingsmailbag@sactownsports.com and have them answered by the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and Cattles and Rami during our Kings Mailbag segment every Friday on Sactown Sports' YouTube channel. Subscribe today by searching Sactown Sports on YouTube. The only place to get wall-to-wall Kings coverage in the 916, Sactown Sports. Your local sports leader.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
You hear the phrase a lot this time of year, happy holidays. But holidays are not always happy, particularly for guys grappling with a divorce that they didn't choose. These men need more than the help of a good lawyer. They need the hope and encouragement of a good friend.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Sacramento area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com, 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814.
Tuesday starts out quite cool once again with mainly cloudy skies, overcast conditions. Don't be alarmed if there's a stray shower this afternoon. Otherwise, looking at a dry day with temperatures in the low 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Plumbing, electrical, heating and air, everything that makes your home your home. With Bonnie, you sure got that covered. And right now, get your air conditioner tuned up for just $79. Originally $129. Bonnie.com.
Bonnie.
License
At Folsom Lake Honda, in addition to great prices on new Hondas, we stock the best selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, and each one of those vehicles is priced to sell now.
With new cars in high demand, Folsom Lake Honda has a great selection of quality one-owner trades with low miles, and each is priced to sell now. Every used vehicle on the lot comes with a Carfax Vehicle History Report and has passed a safety inspection. Shop our entire selection at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
So I switched to Boost Mobile and got this free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone.
Why do you think they call it the Galaxy?
Maybe because the Samsung Galaxy A23 has a huge screen, and galaxies are huge gravitationally bound systems of stars rotating around a supermassive black hole.
And the phone is free?
When you switch to Boost Mobile.
Cool. You lost me at gravitationally bound.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. Limited time offer while supplies last. New customers only. Excludes tax. One device offer per line. Only available on certain networks. 5G not available everywhere. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
There is beauty and there's uncomfort in owning an older home. The craftsmanship back then, the way they were built, the character, all have their positives. Now, on the other side, older homes need some love and some tenderness, and in our case, some help. Jason Ross here to tell you about the help we're getting thanks to ACR Solar. Now, you hear solar, and you know what? Yes, they do solar, but after years and years of living at our house, the time has come to get a new roof. Our old roof has done its job, but it is done. It's tired, and it looks it. So after doing the proper research and talking with several roofing companies, we landed on ACR Solar. They stood out from the first visit when Joe, their roofing expert, came out and shared his knowledge. We knew at that moment we were at ease because we were in good hands. Also, after our conversations with John, the owner of ACR Solar, that just confirmed what my wife and I already knew, that ACR Solar was the right choice for us. So we're so excited to begin our journey with ACR Solar. We're going to have a beautiful new roof, become more energy efficient, and have the peace of mind we're looking for. ACR Solar, 916-481-2700, or you can visit them at acrsolar.com.
Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, is also Northern California's #1 Honda certified pre-owned vehicle dealer.
Come see our amazing selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. We have something for everyone. Don't shop dealer to dealer trying to find the perfect used car. Stockton Honda has the selection, financing, and savings you want. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2021 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. Hey, small business owner, when's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs, but some don't check their rate often. Did you know rates can vary? In fact, taking 3 minutes to check your rate with Pi Insurance could save you up to 30%. Just go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for you with no hassle or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could save you money. Plus, with Pi, you can have peace of mind knowing your employees are protected. Our team of friendly customer representatives are just a call away, ready to help. It's no wonder customers rate us excellent on Trustpilot. Find out how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
American Energy wants to make sure you and your family are safe this winter with a $49 furnace tune-up. Plus, if you're ready for a new one, get half off with American Energy's 50% off furnace special. With 0% financing and payment plan options available, there's no reason to keep putting off making your home safe, warm, and comfy for you and your family this holiday. Call American Energy today at 916-520-9990 or visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. 50% off furnace when you purchase a whole home HVAC system. Limited time only. Cannot be combined with other offers or specials.
At Total Wine & More, save big on what you love this December with hundreds of deals. Get up to 35% off over 200 different wines and spirits, including Cabernet, sparkling wine, single barrel bourbon, and so much more. These savings are huge, and even better, they're on top of prices that are already the lowest in town. Deals this good don't last long, so visit Total Wine & More to find yours. Love what you find at the lowest price, only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Updated COVID vaccines are here, just in time for the season that brings us all closer. Just in time for added protection against the original COVID virus and Omicron. Just in time for crowded stores and great big family dinners. Updated COVID protection is here. And if you haven't had a vaccine since September, it's time to give yourself the gift of updated protection. Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, it's Sactown Sports 1140. Sactown Sports headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Bars. The Kings opened up a 6-game homestand against the lowly Charlotte Hornets, and in the end came up short.
Just a herder, turns, fires for three, no good, ball game over. So, 125-119, give credit to Steve Clifford and the Hornets. Their first win since the 2nd of December. Sacramento can look at a variety of things tonight that ended up costing them. The beam will not be lit this evening in Doko.
Domantas Sabonis continued his all-star level play, scoring 28 points while pulling down 23 rebounds and adding 7 assists. The Kings look to get back in the win column tomorrow night against the Lakers. The defending Super Bowl champion Rams were still technically in playoff contention last night, but the Packers had any hope of LA making it back to defend their title.
The Green Bay Packers take care of business in the season of hope in Green Bay with a 24-12 victory over the Rams. They keep hope alive.
The Packers remain a game and a half behind the Commanders for the final playoff spot in the NFC. Coming up today, former NFL quarterback Sean Salisbury joins us at 8:13 from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone. When he's not on the microphone, he's playing a song. And when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Jason Ross on vacation. Jay Mars.
Haven't checked in with Jason in a few days. Do we know if the stone?
I talked to him over the weekend, and he did the Kings game. He felt fantastic. He said his wife was laughing at him because he was running all over the house doing random things just because he was so happy to not be in labor anymore, birthing a kidney stone. But no word as to whether or not it passed or if it just moved like it did a couple weeks ago when he came in. So I tend to try when people are on vacation to leave them alone.
Same.
Except you. So, you know, I only call when I absolutely have to because, you know, just following chain of command.
That's everybody's excuse. I'm only calling because I have to. It's like, why is it everyone says the same thing?
Yeah. So Jason will return next week. I have no idea what the schedule is. You're the one who writes it every week, but I do know we're all off Friday. I will return on the 4th, I think.
Yeah, no, next week will be Jason and Christopher Laud. Me and you are both off next week.
Christopher Laud the morning.
Yes.
All right. I will actually tune in for a couple of those shows. So, you know, on this show, we don't do moral victories. We don't do, after terrible losses, we don't do the whole, all right, everybody, it's fun. Like, we're ticked about that.
Calm down.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I feel like I just have this dirty feeling after last night. I was in a bad mood going to bed, bad mood waking up. It's so funny how what a basketball does with a hoop can affect mine and many others' moods.
You're emotionally attached.
Very emotionally attached. And so it was just like dinner tasted bad. The chicken that we had wasn't tender, you know, that whole thing.
Well, that wasn't the Kings. That was the
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But let's allow for a few facts. Fact number one, and old KHTKer John Dickinson pointed this out on Twitter yesterday, I saw. This is the first bad loss of the year for the Kings. They in 29 games, he said they are the last team in the NBA to have a bad loss. Everybody else has had a bad loss. And I'm not talking about Philly blowing them out or Boston. Those are expected losses. This was every team loses to some stupid team. And Kings fans should know this very well, because the Kings suck every year, and every single year, not one, not two, but usually 3 to 5 times during the year, whether it's a 20-win or 30-win season, they beat some team that's really good.
We're the stupid team usually.
Right. You had Charlotte coming off a back-to-back in Denver. You had Charlotte as a 10-point underdog. Terry Rozier was out. But this team, by the end of the year, if they get healthy, which they are getting, this is going to be a much better team than their record. Kings still should have won. They missed their free throws. It was just an off night for them. Now, what do? You look and say, okay, we got a little lucky, because if you want to look playoffs, the Grizzlies lost, the Pelicans lost, or these teams either lost last night or are coming off a loss. The Blazers lost on that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander shot that was absolutely fantastic.
Left baseline to Shai. Quick swivels. Rises, fires, 50 foot jump. At the buzzer! Knocks it down! Oh, baby!
Yeah, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be amazing on a big market team someday.
Yeah, Thunder really need to figure that one out.
Yeah.
Keep him happy. I'm not sure how much longer they can lose.
The Jazz lost and the Mavericks lost. So teams pretty much all around the Kings, with the exception of the Clippers and the Timberwolves, they all lost. What does that mean? That means even after last night's loss, the Kings are 16-13. They have 14 of their next 18 at home. They are in sole possession, percentage-wise, of the 6th spot, and they have plenty of room. Now they just got to get one back. They just got to get one back against a team that they shouldn't beat. And this is how calm we should be. Russell on the chat. You weren't here yesterday. He ruined our World Cup talk yesterday. Just ruined it, right? Today's a new day, though. We all start fresh. Russell says the following. I think this team has proven through this season that we don't need to panic after one bad game, which is weird for me to say, honestly. It is. Yes, it feels weird to say, but first loss to a sub-500 team at the 30-game mark, I'll take that any day. Russ is the voice of reason. Russ! So don't. If Russ is trying to calm people down, you're someone. And now the Kings need to regroup. I would love to be a fly on the wall at today's practice. Love to be a fly on the wall. I'd love to hear. I really would just love to hear what Mike Brown says and that coaching staff says. I wonder if they're going to go after everyone, if everyone's going to be running. It's going to be one of those, or if it's going to be guys. Maybe this is a psychology thing. Maybe Mike Brown's approach to these guys is, hey, listen, you probably expect me to run you into the ground today. I'm not going to do it. You're professionals. You need to decide what type of team you want to be. Here's what we didn't do last night. Everyone is accountable. Here's what we need. Do you want to be a playoff team that can make some noise in the postseason, or do you just want to be another flash in the pan? Yeah, I don't know. I truly would love to know if today's practice, and we're going to ask Kevin Herter this week about that. Will today's practice be super intense, crazy, or is there going to be a lot of just walkthroughs and conversations and a little bit of psychology? Because you know what? Sometimes you need that. Mike Brown needs to know, and seems to be pretty good so far at understanding which levers to push and pull at the right times. And you have the Lakers coming up on Wednesday. Any team that has LeBron James on it is a dangerous team, but no Anthony Davis. This is a team that's 13-17. And they're going to be coming into Golden One Center, and it is going to be, as it always is for Laker games, a raucous environment. Now, the Lakers, I believe, hadn't played. Yeah, they played Sunday against the Wizards. I don't think they played last night. So they're certainly going to be rested. Actually, excuse me, they did play last night. They lost to the Suns 130-104. This is a game that the Kings will almost certainly be favored in. In fact, they will be favored in. So one thing I wonder is, I think I know the answer to this, but now that the Kings are legitimately better than the Lakers this year, does that rivalry intensity stay the same, go less, or turn up a little bit? And I know for me, anytime, and I'll be at that game. I will be at that game. I can't stand to watch the Kings lose to the Lakers or Warriors and see, Laker and Warrior fan taking over Golden One Center. I personally don't think that'll happen Wednesday. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'll be there because I enjoy any night where there's a decent or good opportunity to beat the Lakers and to send schmedium wearing, undersized Kobe Bryant jersey wearing, double fisting, beer drinking, anytime any Laker makes a basket, standing up, double fisting and turning to the crowd and muttering something unintelligible, speaking Laker fan. I love seeing him hit L Street, and I think we all do. I don't think the Laker rivalry is anything like it was 20 years ago, of course, but there's still always going to be, and a lot of people that are new to this thing, whether it's new to the city or new to the team, don't understand. A lot of the rivalry is not Shaq and Kobe versus Weber and Vlade, although at the time it was. But there's always going to be a rivalry. There was a rivalry with the Lakers before that because there is a NorCal, SoCal rivalry. There is a Northern California forgotten little brother, nobody cares, stepchild of the state. And then there's the Southern California, Hollywood, leave in the third quarter, stop stealing our water faction as well. The rivalry goes a lot deeper, which is weird because there's not really a rivalry with the Clippers. It's fun to beat LA, but it's nothing like the Lakers. But let's be honest, it's because the Lakers are one of the 2 to 3 flagship teams in the NBA. So when they come in Wednesday, what you'd like to see is the Kings just come out and just go insane. Just come out, go insane, hit all their shots. I'd like to see them go to like a 40-4 lead. Some people will get that reference. That'd be nice. But the bottom line is it's got to be more than Fox and Sabonis. Fox and Sabonis last night combined for 65 points. That's over half of the Kings' points last night. Domantas Sabonis had 23 rebounds. That's over half of the 42 rebounds on the team. Didn't really get anything out of Terrence Davis. Malik Monk, we'll talk about that later, is not shooting the rock very well as of late. Kevin Huerter was 3 of 11. All 3 were three-pointers, which means he was 0 of 8 from the field. Missed both free throws. He's visibly frustrated at that. So you're going to need a lot of fire coming out on Wednesday, and we're going to learn a lot about this team on Wednesday. We learn a lot about this team all the time because they're new to us. We'll learn a little bit Wednesday against the Lakers. All right, we're going to pause for just 60 seconds. When we come back, is Dame now the GOAT? We'll explain.
Live and past broadcasts of the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and Cattles and Rami. Interviews, podcasts, and more. They all live on the Sactown Sports 1140 app. Download the app now in the App Store and Google Play.
Today I'm at Elk Grove Dodge, where it looks like Vince Bloom, the big guy,
also known as Father Christmas.
Well, yeah, Vince, you are dressed like Santa, which means you must be giving out some sweet deals for the holidays.
There's nothing sweeter than saving money on trucks.
So I can expect some big savings on, say, new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorns?
You read Santa's mind. Right now, during the Big Finish event at Elk Grove Dodge, save $12,000 off MSRP on new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s.
Vince, $12,000 off new 2022 Bighorn Crew Cabs?
That's right.
$12,000 is a lot of money, and you've got enough for all of Santa's helpers because, we've been very good this year.
I sure do. I've got 15 of these new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s, and they're all $12,000 off MSRP, starting at $42,520.
Now through January 3rd, save $12,000 on 15 new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s.
Only at Elk Grove Dodge in the Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com.
Include $6,000 in 2022 Big Finish and California retail bonus and bonus cash. Sample VIN 455 158 expires 1/3/23.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Question 1.
All right, before we get to the first question, Tom Maley is in studio. You can see him on the camera spinning a basketball that he's probably going to drop and break some form of equipment.
Is that an ABA ball?
It's an old ABA ball. Let me show it for the move to the side here. Let me show it to the cameras. That is an old ABA ball. And
signed by Jackie Moon?
Well, we're trying to find out. The commissioner signed it, and it looks like Slick Pink House.
Slick Pink House.
Slick Park.
Slick Pinkhorn, maybe?
Slick.
It's not an old ball. It's brand new. They just released these new.
Those
ABA
are fantastic.
Basketball. It's leather. It's red, white, and blue. I mean, I feel halfway to Dr. J just holding this in my hand.
I mean, well, because you were a big, ABA was like that was what you grew up with.
Yeah. I probably could have had a tryout with the Kentucky Colonels if they'd heard about me.
Slick Pinkham.
There you go, Slick Pinkham.
Slick.
Love Slick Pinkham.
I wonder if it's Pinkham or
Pinkham.
Pinkham.
I think it's
Probably
Pinkham.
Pinkham. Yeah. Pinkham is
Pinkham damn near killed him.
dangerous.
Yeah, it is. Okay, well, good job. By the way, if you get tired of your sports, go check out your country.
Tune into KNCI for some delicious country music.
What are you guys doing awesome today that's going to garner some sort of station-wide email about how great you are?
Playing a whole bunch of
Playing the
music.
hits. Playing the hits.
Yeah, our secret is just shut up and not talk.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Maybe we should try that.
Yeah, maybe we should
By
try
this,
that.
Okay.
Maybe we should just start playing country music as well on our station. Did you? No? Okay, I got it. Thanks.
Bye, Tom.
Take care. That's fishing guide extraordinaire Tom Maley coming back for more. Slick Pinkham on line 1. That's how he left. What a walk-off by Tom. That was an amazing line.
Can't beat that one.
Question 1, Jay Mars.
I feel like we should just skip the segment.
Have I ever gone into their... I mean, I go into their studio, but you just roll in and just grab a mic. Hey, guys.
I think you should at some point just...
Pat still would punch me in the ear hole.
Well, there's worse places to be punched.
Straight point. All right, question 1.
Sue him, get some money. I don't know. Anyways, Dame Lillard passed Clyde Drexler last night to become the Blazers' all-time leading scorer.
Yeah.
Is Dame the greatest Blazer of all time?
I don't like I don't like this question.
Why?
Because I think if he's not, he will be. But also, Clyde Drexler got him to the finals with Rick Adelman and was this short of winning a title, at least one. Ran into the Bulls buzzsaw.
And the Pistons.
Those are 2 pretty good dynasties, if you count the Pistons as a dynasty. I mean, he ran into the bad boys, and then he ran into the Bulls. Dame Lillard has gotten to the third round once?
Once or twice. I think maybe once. I know he's been to the conference finals.
Yeah, it's so... But of course, not Dame's fault. It's who he's surrounded with.
And Clyde had some great players on that team.
Oh, Kevin Duckworth, I believe
Terry
the late
Porter,
great Kevin Duckworth.
R.I.P.
Terry Porter.
Jerome Kersey, another one.
Yes.
R.I.P.
Oh, Jerome Kersey. My God. Oh, who?
Danny Ainge.
Did you see Tom Browning died yesterday? The Reds pitcher. Golly, what was he? 61. Back to the question.
Also, don't forget Bill Walton. I know it was short.
I could never forget Bill Walton.
I know he had a short career, but up there in that the whole where Rip City really started, that late 70s team that won a title. I think Jeff Petrie was on that team, wasn't he?
I think it's a generational thing right now. I think Dame will eventually, without question, be the best Blazer of all time. Right now, I remember very well Clyde Drexler playing. And by the way, I remember a time being where Clyde Drexler was considered the second best player in the NBA to Michael Jordan. I don't ever, have we ever considered Dame Lillard the second best player in the NBA? I'm not ready to say that yet, but I think Clyde's keeping the chair warm for Dame. Very, very warm.
I'm still team Clyde, but Dame is coming up fast behind him.
Number 2.
Question 2.
All right. What player on the Kings are you most concerned about?
So we're going to talk about Malik Monk a little bit in the next segment, and that's a perfectly acceptable answer. But I'm most concerned with the star of our Red Velvet Lounge each week. I'm most concerned with Kevin Huerter. He's doing the things or trying to do the things he needs to do, whether it's defense, whether it's scoring in the paint, whatever it is. Last night, it looked like he might be out of his slump. He triggered 3 beautiful threes.
But he was 3 of 7 from 3 last night.
3 of 8
That's not,
3. Yeah.
That's actually decent. But it's the 2-point game that has just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, and it just after such a hot start, and we're at the point right now where, at first we asked him, hey, is it something in your head? Is it something with you? Or are they guarding you differently? He said it's a little bit of all, but they're definitely being guarded differently. And Katie mentioned on the broadcast last night that they're just up in his face guarding him completely. And I don't know if that's something that Sabonis and the rest of these guys can do more, whether it's staggered screens, more dribble handoffs, whatever, to free him up. But it's the free throws.
Mm-hmm.
It's the free throws. That can only be a mental thing. He's shooting 41.1% from behind the arc and 66% from the line. He shot 81% from the line last year.
Yeah.
He's an 80% free throw shooter, and he's shooting 66% on pretty decent volume. A couple free throws a game, that's pretty decent volume. So I think there's some mental stuff going on with him right now, and I never want to try to get into somebody's head, but I just think he's a far better player than he's played the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, and we expected him to regress after that super hot start, but this is a little bit too far of a regression than I think anybody had kind of predicted. I think Kevin Huerter just kind of needs to now progress to the mean, so to speak.
Right.
But, and we'll talk about the next segment. For me, it's more Malik Monk. Because what he was able to give them off the bench there for a while was just nothing short of 6 man of the year type numbers.
Yeah.
And recently the shooting percentages have just fallen off a cliff.
Yeah,
it's concerning.
We're going to talk about Malik Monk coming up in the very next segment, along with more on these Kings. In the meantime, number 3.
Question 3.
Was last weekend the greatest NFL regular season weekend you remember?
Okay, so the key there is that you remember, because I can't sit here and I can't sit here and name off every single NFL weekend by heart and go, oh no, back in 2012, week 13. Greg Papa could do that.
Yes.
I can't do that. But we shared some things yesterday, Jay, that were quite fun. I'll share them with you again because they're worth it. This is prior to Monday Night Football, which wasn't a great game. And this is prior to Sunday Night Football, which actually was a bit of a controversial game and an 8-point victory for the Giants. 13 of 14 games, so now 14 of 15, came within one score in the fourth quarter. It's the first week in NFL history with 3 17-point comebacks, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, and, of course, Minnesota's 33-point comeback, which is the largest in NFL history. 8 games were decided in the final 2 minutes of regulation or overtime. 5 games were decided. 5 games were decided by a game-winning score on the final play of the game. That's the first week also in NFL history with 2 game-winning defensive touchdowns on the final play. So I can't remember every NFL week. I can tell you that yesterday and the weekend, but especially Sunday, there were 2 games with teams matching up over 500, and they weren't that great. So to memory, it is the absolute greatest regular season NFL, most entertaining that I remember. And you know what else I get entertained by, to be honest with you, is saving money. And that's where my guy Shelby at refinance-with-shelby.com comes in. Saving money. He saved me money not once but twice in the past. We're working on a third deal right now. And it's not some sort of a realtor to the LOL stars or anything. I get the same deal anyone else does. And I work very hard to try to bring you the gospel of Shelby and United Wholesale Lending. And all I can do is give you the keys to the castle. You've got to open the with that drawbridge.
Over the moat.
You gotta go. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You gotta go over the moat. I gave you the remote control, Fast, local, and competitive. Shelby's team is well known in this market, which can make a difference on deadlines when you got rates locked, when you need that appraisal, that inspection to get done. Maybe you need your file to move up a little bit at the title company. Well, that's where relationships come in. Because John or Jane at the title company are going to be more likely to pay special attention to somebody they've worked with many, many times in the past rather than Fred in Ohio, who they'll never talk to again and have never talked to before. As far as rates go, marry the house, date the rate. You can always refinance as soon as rates come down, or United Wholesale Lending has alternative loan options like a 2-1 buy down. You can pre-approve over the phone in just under 15 minutes without even running your credit. RefinanceWithShelby.com. That's RefinanceWithShelby.com. NMLS number 279051. BRE number 0186435. We'll continue our 3 for Madness conversation as we recap the game. Who are you most worried about on the Sacramento Kings? We have stats for you next.
Kings insiders Frankie Cardoselli and Chris Watkins give you all things Kings on the return of the Roar podcast.
With these two sitting next to me now, certainly feel comforted.
You can sign up for free at SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Buyers Enterprises.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday starts out quite cool once again with mainly cloudy skies, overcast conditions. Don't be alarmed if there's a stray shower this afternoon. Otherwise, looking at a dry day with temperatures in the low 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
'Tis the season for wind and rain. Protect your home with a new roof from Buyers Roofing. Top of the line products, the Buyers Family Guarantee, and 12 months same as cash. Visit that'sbuyers.com for details.
That's Buyer.
It's the Hanley's Davis Kia year-end sales event. Kia Season of Giving Back with our biggest inventory of the year. Most models in stock now. Get our best price now with no hassle, no headache, no games. Here's how it works. Go to HanleysDavisKia.com. That's HANLEES DavisKia.com. Pick the model you're interested in and click Unlock Instant Best Price. It's that easy. No hassle, no games, just our best low price. Special financing available. Look for a great deal on a new Kia without playing games. Go to HANLEES DavisKia.com. Pick your model and click Unlock Instant Best Price. That's it. Big savings, great deal, and no hassle. Our biggest inventory of the year in stock now. Hanley's Davis Kia, located at 4318 Childs Road, just off I-80 at the Mace Boulevard exit in Davis. All of us at Hanley's wish you and your family a very happy holiday. All financing subject to credit approval.
Hey, it's Nick Cattles, and you should start your holidays right with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers from California Backyard. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill is turning me into a pro. Think outside the kitchen this year and cook your entire holiday meal on a Napoleon gas grill. Napoleon, their grills are built to last. I'll tell you right now, all made with premium steel that boasts quality. Check out Napoleon Grills today at any of the 4 nearby California Backyard locations. They're always the best in backyard living. Check them out at Napoleon.com.
Year-end pricing is in effect on every vehicle on the lot. Hurry to Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During Happy Honda Days, take advantage of our best offers of the year on our best selection of the year. Drive a new 2022 Honda Accord and get low lease or finance rates when you come in today. Plus, get top dollar for your trade-in. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Time to check out Coastside Medical Clinic, who's dedicated to providing breakthrough remedies for men.
Sactown Sports headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Kings opened up a 6-game homestand against the lowly Charlotte Hornets, and in the end came up short.
Just a herder, turns, fires for 3, no good, ball game over. So, 125-119, give credit to Steve Clifford and the Hornets. Their first win since the 2nd of December. Sacramento can look at a variety of things tonight that ended up costing them. The beam will not be lit this evening in Doko.
Domantas Sabonis continued his all-star level play, scoring 28 points while pulling down 23 rebounds and adding 7 assists. The Kings look to get back in the win column tomorrow night against the Lakers. The defending Super Bowl champion Rams were still technically in playoff contention last night, but the Packers had any hope of LA making it back to defend their title.
The Green Bay Packers take care of business in the season of hope in Green Bay with a 24-12 victory over the Rams. They keep hope alive.
The Packers remain a game and a half behind the Commanders for the final playoff spot in the NFC. Coming up today, former NFL quarterback Sean Salisbury joins us at 8:13 from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The only local sports show in the morning.
On Sactown Sports, 1140.
The Sabonis isolated against Richards. Diggs spins, looking for position. Now the double team. Feeds it out. Uncovered is Murray for 3. Egan!
There you go.
That's what we're talking about. Flamello freeing up in the right angle. Here's the 3. Doesn't get it. Sabonis gets his 20th rebound. It's the third 2020 game this season for Sabonis.
Let's take a look at a few things here. We've also got sound. If you didn't watch the game or only watched part of it, Domantas Sabonis was mic'd up yesterday. Cool of him to let NBC do that, because a lot of times players, they don't want any part of that. They might do that on a national broadcast, but they don't. I wonder, I'd like to see the rig too, by the way, on Sabonis. Would ya?
Which part of the rig specifically has you intrigued? It's out of curiosity.
I would like to see the microphones. Please don't. I would like to see the microphone setup that they use, the microphone rig that they set up, because I can't, we have what's called a lav mic. It's like a little box that you put on your belt, and then you run a wire underneath your shirt, and then it clips onto your collar. I'm sure that's not what they're using. So I'd be very curious to see like how they are able to hook him up for being mic'd up without having him he's got to not even know it's there.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just, the nerd in me wants to see that.
Well, next time we ask Domas, we'll make sure to talk about his rig.
Yeah, we'll. When you look at play, I would say you could talk about a number of players you're worried about on the Kings. I'm going to start with one that kind of goes against the spirit of the question, but I want to put an asterisk here. I'm worried about Domantas Sabonis.
Oh, I think I know where you're going with this.
The workload they're putting on him, the amount of shots he takes every night, the wear and tear, and the fact that they've got Neemias Queta in there getting real actual minutes. And that's
internet favorite Neemias Queta.
I'm not disrespecting him at all. I'm a huge
Reddit
fan.
legend.
I hope that he makes it Portugal's own. But he's just, and there's going to be an adjustment period, but he just doesn't look like an NBA player right now.
No, there's a reason why he's been in the G League.
Which shows you just how dissatisfied Mike Brown is with Alex Len and Rashawn Holmes. My God, the fall of Rashawn Holmes. If things weren't so great mostly all year, that would be one of the top stories. Just the last 2 years, the absolute drain his career has gone down.
Mm-hmm.
And for a guy that this city loves, this family, huge bright spot 2 years ago, and then just talk about and
early last season he was really good.
Well, and then he kept getting poked in the eye and had to wear goggles and got sick.
Multiple things happened.
Right, a lot of things.
Personally, professionally, injured.
But this is the ultimate example. And by the way, I'm in no way implying he's doing this on purpose. I think nobody wants to win or do better than Rashawn. But this is where sometimes he gets that nice contract extension, and then and again. It's bad timing.
I don't think that's the case.
No. I don't think the fact that he got paid, he's now being lazy or whatever. I'm saying the coincidence is that you don't see this. And then if he was a free agent at the end of the year, it'd be a lot easier to make decisions here.
Sure.
And to also move him. So anyways.
Just real quick on Rashawn. Yeah. I think the biggest issue that has plagued Rashawn was a perfect complement to Tyrese Halliburton when Tyrese was here. And Tyrese got Rashawn a lot of easy looks, a lot of easy baskets, and Rashawn really benefited from that. His game really started to, when you look at, again, all of the other issues with last year, when Tyrese got traded, that also really was a sign of Rashawn's game going downhill, so to speak, because the offense was designed differently when they acquired Domas. And that's kind of the case this year, is Mike Brown runs that high post offense. You can't run a high post offense through Rashawn Holmes the way you can Domantas Sabonis.
No.
He's not a great passer. He's not going to spot up at the free throw line extended and hit jumpers. Just not his game.
No.
And I think he's more of a victim of an offense that doesn't fit his game more than anything else.
He is averaged so far this year, should I say so far this month, 4 minutes, 6.8 minutes in November, 14.3 to start out in October, in which he averaged just over 4 points and just under 3 rebounds a game. I'm going to give you 4 main names that I'm worried about. Malik Monk, Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter, and Terrence Davis. Now, I want to knock one name off that list right away. I was not happy with Keegan Murray, as a lot of people, not happy with it, what seemed to be a lack of aggression. I know he's not going to be an guy, but, bro, you can't have one rebound at that spot. You cannot have one rebound in that position. I wasn't happy with that last night, but here's the thing about Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray this season, he averaged 17.4 points his opening month. That dropped to 8. He was dealing with the family member, all the stuff off the court. He's back up to 14.3. He's shooting 48.3% from behind the arc, which is his main job so far this month. That's up from 27 last month and up from 39.5. He's actually almost shooting 50% from beyond the arc. And as far as rebounds go, Jay, I'm not incredibly worried about it, which is why I'm knocking him off this list. Sure, there's things he needs to improve. And yeah, there's going to be rookie walls. He's already played more games than he played all last year or ever in his college career. But he's averaging 3.7 rebounds per game this month. That's down from 3.9 and 4. But he's 0.3 off of his career high for rebounds in a month. I'm going to knock him off the list. I'm also going to knock Terrence Davis off that list too. Because Terrence Davis, although he has struggled a little bit here and there with it, his minutes are extremely inconsistent. He had 2 points in 15 minutes last night. He's still shooting 44% from the field. Now, he shot 45% the month before, 44% the month before that. There are some holes we can poke in Terrence Davis's game, but I think the two main issues here are Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk.
Yeah, the shooting guards, coincidentally.
Yeah, the shooting guards that, unfortunately for Malik, he came out of the box averaging 34% from behind the arc. It's perfectly acceptable. He followed that up with 37% from behind the arc. He is at 30%, 29.8 to be exact right now. He's shooting 39% from the field this month. His output is fine. He's averaging 15 points a game, which is down 2 points from last month, but up 7 points from month one. But those efficiency numbers, with the exception of free throws in which he's shooting 93%, maybe put him at the line more. He's been pretty consistent. His numbers are exactly the same, 24.4, as they were in the previous month. It's just he's consistently inconsistent is the problem. 1 of 6 last night from behind the arc. 0 of 2 the game before. 5 of 10 the game before. 1 of 5, 2 of 8, 1 of 5, 1 of 7, 3 of 9, 3 of 5. That's not good efficiency. If you're shooting below 30% from behind the arc, you either got to figure it out real quick, or you need to slow down that behind the arc shooting. And then the last one I would throw at you is Kevin Huerter. Kevin Huerter, we knew he was not going to be shooting 53.2% from behind the arc all year. He dropped to 41.1, and now this month he's at 30.9. He's at 40% overall from the field. He's averaging less points at 13 points than he has all season. And I think almost the worst, 60% from the free throw line, which is down from 60.7% last month. Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter are real keys to this team.
Mm-hmm.
And if one's having an off night, can deal. If both are having an off night or an off month, the fact of the matter is, Jay, I don't know whether to be more worried about these guys or more absolutely impressed that the Kings are 16-13 with the type of month those guys have had.
Yeah, and kind of putting it all into that bigger perspective is we've talked about this, and last night was kind of the example, and last night was the hole that we saw in this team. Sabonis, excellent.
Yeah.
De'Aaron, excellent. Nobody else played a good game last night.
No.
And they don't have that third star to basically they need 3 guys to play really good basketball.
Yes, they do.
And the problem is there has been a lack of consistency from everybody else except for Fox and Sabonis. And you can make an argument just Sabonis. And if he gets hurt or if he has to miss extended time, that is scary.
It's game over. No,
yes.
if he has to miss extended time, we're going to find out exactly how much this team relies on him. Seriously, it's like trying to drive your car to work and the engine's going to miss time. This
doesn't matter how the other parts are holding up. They're new, they're clean. Doesn't matter.
This is a 34-35 win team without him.
Maybe.
In my opinion. Maybe.
I think you're kind of being generous with that one, if I'm being honest.
Well, I'm trying to add in for the additions, and other guys will step up. We also, by the way, have no update on Harrison Barnes, who is listed as day-to-day as of last night. Suffered what looked to be a quad injury yesterday. Hopefully that's just a bruise that he can walk off and get treatment for today. But steady Eddie performance. But it's Harrison Barnes didn't jump off the page a lot of times at you. He does not jump off the page. Unlike your energy bills, by the way, which can jump off that page. You look at oh my goodness gracious, look at all that money I'm spending on energy. Let American Energy Air help you out. They want to make sure you and your family are safe this winter with a $49 furnace tune-up to ensure your system's running safely and efficiently. And if you're ready for a new one, Get half off with American Energy's 50% off furnace special. When you purchase a whole home HVAC system, get your furnace half off. 0% financing payment plans available. There's no reason to keep putting off making your home safe, warm, and comfortable for you and your family this holiday. We want you to all gather around the fire. We don't want it to be necessary to gather around the fire to stay warm. Call American Energy today and inquire at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Or visit them online, AmericanEnergyAir.com. Serving the Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Go on Google, go on Yelp, see what people have to say about them. It's all great. And that's unfiltered, unedited. That's not some radio schmo talking to you about them. That's the real deal. But I have had them out to my house. I have had the tune-up, and it saved me money. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. We're going to pause for a quick minute. When we come back, what does Jalen Hurts' injury mean for the Niners? We'll wrap up the week in the NFL next.
The place to tell you if the 49ers are contenders or pretenders.
It's a pretty big deal. I've been a fan of the 49ers since, 84.
Your home for 49ers news and talk. Sactown Sports, your local sports leader.
Folks, there's been some fumbles on the way to the big game, but he's been getting some help to get it done tonight. Here's the throw. And he's off to the races. He might go all the way. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10, touchdown. He did it, folks. He did it.
Regain and optimize your sexual performance. Drug-free and surgery-free. The Gainswave treatment will help you get that bedroom touchdown. See what Dr. Dan Botha and his team at Gainswave can do for you. Visit gainswavecalgary.ca.
We are in the giving spirit here at RC Willey. Hurry in to wrap up your holidays with huge savings throughout the store. Holiday savings in furniture, mattresses, appliances, electronics, and flooring. RC Willey in Rockland and South Sacramento near Elk Grove. RC Willey, your home, your way.
Buying a new Acura is an easy decision, and Acura of Stockton makes buying easy. Come and see us today or shop online. If we don't have it, you can pre-select your favorite Acura and pick it up when it arrives. No contracts or deposits required. It's that easy. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade whether you buy from us or not. Don't settle for less than the quality of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or online at AcuraofStockton.com.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. The holiday season is meant for family and friends, not for auto accidents. Let us take this time for a gentle reminder for everyone to use extra care while driving this holiday season. There are more cars on the road, and rain is always just around the corner. If you do need Ashton & Price, we'll be here for you. And as always, the consultation is free, and there is never a fee unless you win. So whether you've been naughty or nice, let us wish you the happiest holidays from the injury law firm of Ashton & Price.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. Actual PI customer.
Workers' comp can crush a small business. Every year it would jump 5, 10, 15, 20%, even though there was never any claims. And that's where I was struggling as a growing business.
That's Mike Lozier, owner of Gutter Plumber, a small business in New Jersey. A while back, Mike found his workers' comp costs rising. Luckily, he discovered PI Insurance.
From start to finish, it was extremely easy. They quickly came back to me with a plan that was affordable for me.
Are you overpaying for workers' comp? Just go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle or hidden fees. Like Mike, we think you'll be glad you did.
I'm very happy that I moved over to Pi for my workers' comp so that I can grow my company while not breaking the bank.
Find out how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
When it comes to your sewer, what goes down must come out. Get a detailed video inspection absolutely free with any sewer drain cleaning and keep life flowing in the right direction. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com.
You know they've been here for a combined 50 years. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
I see folks in the chat talking about backups. Boogie Cousins, Dwight Howard. Earl says they're both playing in Taiwan. DeMarcus isn't playing in Taiwan. I know Dwight Howard is.
Yeah.
Did you see the video? Somebody sent it to me yesterday. I don't know how old it is, if it's new or not. of Dwight Howard going at it on the court with a player on the other team, and the player on the other team, Symbol R.
Really?
I'll show you at the break.
King's legend.
Dwight is just trying to pushing him, slapping at him.
Sam's a big boy.
Dude,
Sam.
I mean, yeah. Like, careful, Dwight, because here's my thing. You can probably push around Symbol R a little bit for funsies if you'd like, but at some point, Symbol R is just going to go, and smash you. He will take his fist and just hammer Dwight Howard like a nail. I would not mess with Symbol R.
Okay.
You would?
No, I'm not Dwight Howard.
Are you saying that Symbol R is soft?
No, what I'm saying is Dwight Howard is Superman. He can mess with whoever he wants. He's got a tattooed on him and everything.
Guy who's been Superman so far in the NFL this year, and up until yesterday, your leading candidate for MVP is this guy.
Balls for the football. He's going to run. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Goodbye! Touchdown!
Yeah, this guy.
Hurts under center. He sneaks, and he's in. Touchdown, Eagles.
This guy.
And they sneak, and now there's a penalty.
It sounded like he said, and they stink.
Yes.
It did completely sound like that to me, too. Okay.
And they stink, and now there's a penalty flag. They throw a penalty flag. The touchdown is they call the touchdown.
Yeah, you get the point. That's Jalen Hurts. All three of those calls, rushing touchdowns. That's Jalen Hurts, who also had the 2-point conversion. That was Jalen Hurts, that not counting extra points in which they missed one. Jalen Hurts, 20 of the Eagles, 25 points, and they needed all 25 to beat the Bears. 25-20. And Jalen Hurts isn't just a running quarterback either. That's a mistake people tend to make. He's top 10 in the NFL in passing yards. In fact, he's exactly 10th. But he's also second in the NFL in touchdowns, behind Jamal. Jamal Detroit. Why am I blanking? Jamal
Williams.
Thank you very much. Jamal Williams with Detroit. He is injured. He has a shoulder issue. His sprained shoulder,
officially diagnosed it
on his throwing shoulder. And we were talking earlier today about the idea that if you're Philadelphia, you are not, barring some sort of Jalen Hurts woke up Wednesday or Thursday and felt like a new man and had little to no pain. If he's anything less than 90% this weekend, you do not play him Christmas Eve against the Cowboys.
No, it's funny too. You see it. I saw it all over NFL Live yesterday, watching daytime ESPN programming while not feeling well. I haven't done that in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like the idea of, man, Gardner Minshew might start against the Cowboys this week.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew should be ready. It's like, no, Gardner Minshew is starting this weekend.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
When you're the Eagles and your entire Super Bowl hopes fall on Jalen Hurts,
yeah,
and he sprains his shoulder, you're giving him a minimum a week to recover from that thing. You're not throwing him in there against Dallas. I understand it's an important game. It's a division game. Got it.
Right.
But none of that's going to matter if he gets hurt more playing in that game, because you can be the number one seed.
Yeah.
If you're going into the playoffs and Gardner Minshew is your starting quarterback, I'm sorry, you're not winning the Super Bowl. This is not a thing. You're not making it. You're probably not making it to the NFC title game.
No, let me ask you a very straightforward question. I'll give you a choice. You can have the Eagles getting the number one seed, but no Jalen Hurts for the first two games of the playoffs, or you have a healthy Jalen Hurts and they have the final seed.
Healthy Jalen Hurts final seed.
I think it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. So that's how important he is. The alpha, he is the omega. He is everything about that. And of course, they have AJ Brown, Miles Sanders, and they have a good defense. I'm not saying he's the only good player on that team.
No, but he is the straw that stirs that coffee.
And if you want the one seed, you want home field advantage throughout the playoffs, you basically need to win one of your last three. And they play at Dallas, home Saints, home Giants. Now, two of those three games are going to be very challenging. And, you never know with the Saints, ask Raider fans, what they can do from week to week. But you can't play Jalen Hurts against the Cowboys. Now, you might ask, how does that affect the Niners? Because the Niners right now look like they were going to have the 2 seed all but wrapped up with the Vikings down 33-0 in the second half of that crazy game against the Colts. Well, the Vikings won. And the Niners basically need to win out. Vikings need to lose one of their last 3 for them to move into the 2, but they're going to be the 2 or the 3. That's fine. They're not catching the Eagles. Again, the Eagles need to win one more game, and I'm not entirely sure that it matters if they catch the Eagles. But if you're a Niner fan, and again, hindsight, if you're a Niner fan, Jay, I think you look at the fact that they've won 7 in a row, despite having to use their backup quarterback and Jimmy Garoppolo, sort of, despite having for the last 2 games having to use, or 2.5.
Not really 3. Let's call it what it is.
You're
Jimmy
right.
got hurt in the first quarter of that.
Using literally the last pick of the draft. What I do, when I look at where they're at with Minnesota and Philly, I look at a 19-10 loss to the Bears in a rainstorm.
Oh, I don't want to start talking about.
I look at an 11-10 loss to the Broncos.
That's the one that really sticks out.
That's the one that really sticks out. And, they got doubled up by the Falcons 28-14 in Atlanta. And again, give me all 3 of those teams. Here, I got a question for you. If the 49ers this Sunday had to play a 10 a.m. game against these same Bears at Levi Stadium, and then they followed up with the Sunday night football game against the Broncos, like legitimately, would they win both games?
Right now, yeah.
I think they could win 2 football games in a day against those teams. That's how good they're going right now. You're probably injured for the rest of the season, but I think they could win both. That's saying a lot. That's how hot they are right now. They're in this position right now because of that. Now they have the Commanders, the Raiders, and the Cardinals. And by the way, I'm not counting on 3-0 from the night. I'm not counting. This Commanders team has a decent, solid defense there. It seems like, I don't know, this Commanders game at home feels trappy to me.
Really?
Yes, it does. It feels trappy to me because you just came off of Tom Brady and the Bucs. You go into Seattle and you beat them on national TV. You clinch the division. Brock Purdy's getting all this love. Like, you remember Any Given Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is the point of Brock Purdy's career where he's Willie beaming and he's shooting like the music videos and doing all the interviews with everyone, and people are coming out of the woodwork, and he's got an agent. This is the Brock Purdy's wearing sunglasses inside part of his year. And he seems like a pretty humble, pretty centered young man, but you do worry about too much too quick because he is the talk of the NFL right now, and he's gone from Mr. Irrelevant to the talk of the biggest sport in America.
I think that's fair, but you also have to put in this context a couple of things. Number one is, I think playing only 3 games, he's not quite there yet. And number 2, if he ever got there, I think this is the type of locker room that would punk him and check him real quick.
So. I do. I think so. I think at first it would be, oh, hey, look, Brock Purdy has a little swag. That's cute.
No, and I think players appreciate his swag because he does.
But there's that line.
Sure.
Where are you starting to believe your own press? I want Brock Purdy to spend the rest of this year at least insulted that he was Mr. Irrelevant. I want him to spend the rest of this year believing that he has to prove every single game that he belongs. I want him to spend every single game this year having a relative amount of fear that I need to be on my... The moment he starts getting too comfortable, I start worrying a little bit.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening this year. I just don't understand how a guy that was picked as late as he is, given his track record and also how humble he has been. And it's weird to use a word like humble for a guy that was the last pick, but this guy wasn't a crap quarterback in college. No. But you read all the reports about him staying after practice, learning the playbook, all of that stuff. Like, he prepared himself for this moment. He has been preparing for this all season. And again, I like the swag that he has. I like the fact that he'll get on guys. I don't see him crossing that line. I think it's pretty safe that Brock Purdy knows he's Brock Purdy in the sense and that he's going to have to go out and earn every single win.
Yep.
And that Commanders team to me is just, They're not terrible. They're not good.
They got a little
They're just kind of.
They got their own fun thing going with Taylor Heineke too.
Sure, but he did not look good the other night on Sunday night. He did not look good at all.
Well, when it comes to Brock Purdy, you know what they say. They've said forever. If you stay humble, you don't fumble.
Yep, that's exactly what they said.
Old adage in the NFL.
I'm glad you pulled that one out.
Thank you. We'll take a break when we come back. Yeah, the Kings lost, but a major night for their two big stars. But what does that tell us about the team in general? I think we can learn a lesson from last night's performances from Sabonis and Fox in the loss. We'll get into that next. Sean Salisbury at 8:12.
Your home for the most comprehensive 49ers coverage.
Debo, Bosa, to our very own Armstead.
The 49ers Authority, Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
You hear the phrase a lot this time of year, happy holidays. But holidays are not always happy, particularly for guys grappling with a divorce that they didn't choose. These men need more than the help of a good lawyer. They need the hope and encouragement of a good friend.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Sacramento area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814.
Your Tuesday starts out quite cool once again with mainly cloudy skies, overcast conditions. Don't be alarmed if there's a stray shower this afternoon. Otherwise, looking at a dry day with temperatures in the low 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
New Kia's in stock at Folsom Lake Kia right now. Get low finance rates and zero down deals during the season of giving. Folsom Lake Kia, over 20 years in Sacramento. Shop FolsomLakeKia.com. That's FolsomLakeKia.com.
Life doesn't stop when the economy is uncertain. The market might not care you have a wedding to plan or a kid to put through school. And inflation doesn't know you've got a family to feed. But Bank of America does, and is here to help. With digital tools to help you save and local experts in Central New York, you can keep life moving forward the way you need it to. Bank of America, what would you like the power to do? Learn more at BofA.com/Central New York. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC, equal credit opportunity lender.
At Folsom Lake Honda, in addition to great prices on new Hondas, we stock the best selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, and each one of those vehicles is priced to sell now.
With new cars in high demand, Folsom Lake Honda has a great selection of quality one-owner trades with low miles, and each is priced to sell now. Every used vehicle on the lot comes with a Carfax vehicle history report and has passed a safety inspection. Shop our entire selection at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda. Your one-stop Honda shop.
Hi, guys. It's Mark with Coastside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. Our wave technology is backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge University. It's been shown to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, but we'll also include something unique that produces powerful results. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. This unprecedented offer is worth $600, but it's free to those who call in the next 2 minutes. Call 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your life back. Call Coastside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores. Get in the zone, AutoZone. See details at AutoZone.com.
Updated COVID vaccines are here, just in time for the season that brings us all closer. Just in time for added protection against the original COVID virus and Omicron. Just in time for crowded stores and great big family dinners. Updated COVID protection is here. And if you haven't had a vaccine since September, it's time to give yourself the gift of updated protection. Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
1, 2, 3. KHTK AM and HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. The flagship station of your Sacramento Kings. It's Sactown Sports 1140. Sactown Sports headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Kings opened up a 6-game homestand against the lowly Charlotte Hornets, and in the end came up short.
Is the Herder, turns, fires for 3, no good, ball game over. So, 125-119, give credit to Steve Clifford and the Hornets. Their first win since the 2nd of December. Sacramento can look at a variety of things tonight that ended up costing them. The beam will not be lit this evening in Doko.
Domantas Sabonis continued his all-star level play, scoring 28 points while pulling down 23 rebounds and adding 7 assists. The Kings look to get back in the win column tomorrow night against the Lakers. The defending Super Bowl champion Rams were still technically in playoff contention last night, but the Packers had any hope of LA making it back to defend their title.
The Green Bay Packers take care of business in the season of hope in Green Bay with a 24-12 victory over the Rams. They keep hope alive.
The Packers remain a game and a half behind the Commanders for the final playoff spot in the NFC. Coming up today, former NFL quarterback Sean Salisbury joins us at 8:13 from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Keys to Herder, enters to Sabonis, kicks to a wide-open Davion Mitchell, but he doesn't shoot the 3. He looks for the late cutter. Harrison Barnes off the bounce with a rip with the right hand, and that excites the Kings fans. Not often that you see that kind of a emphatic put down by Harrison off the dribble. To Sabonis, isolated against Richards. Diggs, spins, looking for position. Now the double team. Feeds it out. Uncovered is Murray for 3. Egan!
Murray! Oh, sorry.
That's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about. Oh, my goodness gracious. Here's more Domantas Sabonis.
Davion Mitchell, the initiator, finds Malik Monk, right corner. Drives it into the paint. Drops it off to Sabonis. Hammer time! 20 points for Sabonis. 3 rebounds away from his third 2020 game of the season.
Yep, and he got it here.
LaMelo freeing up on the right angle. Here's the 3. Doesn't get it. Sabonis gets his 20th rebound. It's the third 2020 game this season for Sabonis.
Obviously, you know how that ends 125-119. Charlotte, the worst team by record in the NBA. No, I do not believe they are the worst team in the NBA. This is a team that has been beset by injuries, yet still a game the Kings should have won and probably should have won comfortably. One thing NBC did last night, we have the audio. If you love Domantas Sabonis, you're going to love him even more. Here he is mic'd up for last night's game. Here's just a couple of things.
Cut. Hey. Yeah, Malik. Yes, sir. I love it. I got you. Get out. There we go. I got you, Keegan. Yes, sir. I got you. Yeah, Nene. That's the one. Yes, sir, Nene. Big time. Let's go. Keep going.
He's just a consummate leader, and one thing the Kings have sorely lacked over the years, it seems, is communication. Communication isn't just, hey, great shot, nicely done, although it's wonderful to hear teammates pulling for each other. But it's also him directing that offense. Cut. I've got you on a switch. Just making sure that his teammates know, almost as a coach on the floor. And not only that, but because Domantas Sabonis, and we'll say this, it's so important, and I don't want to rehash the Halliburton thing because his leadership skills are growing and growing and growing. But not only do they get a big to balance the roster, but they also got a team leader. This isn't come down to who's the best player. It doesn't come down to nobody's getting slighted. But we've always said this about De'Aaron Fox. He's more of a quiet lead by example guy. De'Aaron doesn't jump off the page. And by the way, happy 25th birthday to De'Aaron Fox, 25 years old today. He doesn't jump off the page as a guy who's going to be vocal, who's going to be yelling and going crazy verbally. And that's fine. It's just not his personality. It's not his play type. Domantas Sabonis is that guy. Domantas Sabonis is the leader of this team. He has taken that mantle in far less than a full season. He has gone from, I'm happy to be here and I'm just trying to fit into, okay, I have a training camp now, and now I'm establishing myself as the if not best player, one of the two best players on this team and the vocal leader of this team. And he's fiery, but he's not like bad fiery. I mean, you want to know when Domantas Sabonis is angry or frustrated? He's smiling. You notice that? He gets a bad foul called on him, no foul called against him, and he smiles. He's a smiler in frustration. I think he has like one tech, maybe one, if that tech this year. He's a cerebral player in the sense that look at what he was asked to do this year defensively, something he's never been asked to do before. He's always had Miles Turner taking that mantle. And he has adjusted to that and become arguably the Kings' best defensive player, other than, Davion Mitchell. But look at the volume Sabonis plays compared to Davion. And he is their defensive anchor down low. That's something he's never been asked to do before. And he's having a career year. And he leads the league in double-doubles. I love the fact that he is so vocal. He is a consummate teammate, and they're just the luckiest person in the world right now is Domantas Sabonis' agent. I don't know who it is, but he's the luckiest person in the world because Domantas Sabonis is going to be a max player, and all the agent has to do is go in and grab the max contract from Monty McNair and take it to his client and have him sign it and then get whatever percentage he gets. For what? If I'm Domantas Sabonis, I might fire my agent tomorrow and say, hey, thanks so much. Your services won't be needed because there's no negotiation here. I'm getting a max contract. And somebody asked me yesterday, what are the chances of Sabonis not signing with the Kings? Let me ask you guys this. You have as much intel on this as I do. I know the Kings are fully intending on offering him a max deal. The question is simply, would Sabonis accept it? You have as much intel as I do. I don't know the interior of the thinking of the Sabonis family. But I'll ask you the same. I'll ask you to answer the same way I would. Do you see a realistic? There's always a scenario. But considering you went to Gonzaga, considering his West Coast roots, considering where this team is, what their identity now is, Mike Brown, the whole deal. Do you see Domantas Sabonis turning down a max deal from the Kings? I mean, legitimately, if you were betting a heavy amount of money, you had to go one way or the other. Do you really see him turning down a max deal? And so there you go. So Monty McNair has accomplished one of his biggest goals. He turned a draft pick, what turned into be a very good draft pick in Tyrese Halliburton, who, by the way, I think is third in double-doubles. Domantas is first by a game, followed by Jokic, followed by Halliburton. You want to talk about the idea of an even trade that's good for both sides. And what Monty did is he grabbed himself an all-star player to go with De'Aaron Fox that complements Fox perfectly, which is one thing Tyrese did not do. So that's his goal, number one. Number two, surrounding them with shooters. Now, these shooters were off last night, but there's no denying that Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk and Keegan Murray and Terrence Davis, they're shooters. I can tell you right now, his next goal, he has telegraphed everything he's done so far for the most part. We didn't know specific names, but we knew what he was going to try to do. His next goal is to try to turn what he has left in the war chest that's not named Sabonis and not named De'Aaron Fox into a third star, a third complimentary star. I'm not talking about, a super duper star. I'm talking about a third all-star level player. I don't know if it'll be an older all-star, a younger all-star, a guy that fits the timeline perfectly, but that's what is going to happen next at some point. This season, next season, there's going to be a team that is going to tank, or their star is unhappy. Something goes on, and the Kings are going to come in, and they're going to offer who knows. But I can tell you this much. There is nobody, if we have learned anything, there is nobody that is safe on this team outside of almost certainly Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox. And by the way, after trading Halliburton last year, I'm not trying, by the way, calm down. I'm not trying to suggest he's going to trade De'Aaron Fox. What I'm saying is after Halliburton getting traded last year, I don't even feel comfortable saying both Sabonis and Fox are safe if that opportunity comes up. Because Monty McNair has proven he's pretty much willing to trade anyone if he thinks it'll make this team better. But I think Sabonis and Foxy are here for the long run. But there's nobody else. Not Keegan, not Davion, not Monk, not a future pick. And yeah, they can trade future picks. They just have to be far in the future. Not Herter. Nobody's safe if he gets a team in distress and he has the opportunity to put a third star around Sabonis and Fox. That's what's on the horizon. That's what's happening. That's what they need. Because you know what we saw last night? We saw Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox have, well, in Sabonis' case, I think his best game of the year. And in De'Aaron Fox, a top 5 best game of the year. They were fantastic last night. And the Kings lost to the worst team by record in the NBA at home. The worst team in the NBA by record at home, coming off a back-to-back loss to Denver, in which the Kings were fully rested, with their 2 stars going off. So what does that tell you? That tells you Sabonis and Fox need their team, and the team needs Sabonis and Fox. One guy can be off, another guy can be off. You can't have the whole rest of the team off. It's not going to work. It's not enough. Sean Salisbury joins us next to wrap up the week that was in the NFL. We'll talk about Brock Purdy. I'm also going to ask him about a guy he was very, very close to, the late, great Mike Leach. We'll do that next.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sactown Sports.
He's got the triple. Keegan Murray with his 5th three-pointer of the night.
Hey, Sacramento. It's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, and the primetime football giveaway, it's back. They're giving away a total of $500 for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento, with plenty of well-lit parking and some of the best food in a friendly environment. For more information on tournaments and gaming, please log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. As always, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Folks, there's been some fumbles on the way to the big game, but he's been getting some help to get it done tonight. Here's the throw. And he's off to the races. He might go all the way. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10, touchdown. He did it, folks. He did it.
Regain and optimize your sexual performance. Drug-free and surgery-free. The Gainswave treatment will help you get that bedroom touchdown. See what Dr. Dan Botha and his team at Gainswave can do for you. Visit GainswaveCalgary.ca.
Stimulating conversation about kitchen gadgets and baseball cards.
I think that's really crazy interesting.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Had to get the link out. NBA All-Star voting is now live. You know what to do. I just tweeted it out. Get in there, vote. What that mean? All right, joining us right now, my dear friend, busiest guy, as I always say, in all the sports talk radio world, fresh off his highly successful program in Houston, and getting ready for the holidays just like the rest of us, Sean Salisbury. Good morning, bud. How are you?
I'm doing.
Nope, I lost you. You there, Sean?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, sorry, you broke up there for a second.
I said Merry Christmas, man. Good to be on with you.
I'm going to peel back the curtain, and my instincts. I know you very, very well, so I hope I don't offend you by saying this. Last week, you were you took the. I don't know how else to say it. You were not on the show last week, and in large part because you were extremely broken up by a guy you were very close to. We got the news about Coach Leach live on the show, and listen, Sean, Northern California, Sacramento in particular, is not the biggest college football area, but he was special. He was he was a soundbite when you think of Sean. Guys like Earl Weaver, guys like Bobby Knight. I mean, you go on and on with sound bites. I could listen to Coach Leach talk about anything from marriage to what mascot would win in the Pac-12 in an all-out brawl, and on and on. And oh, by the way, air raid. He was an incredibly intelligent football mind, and also a lawyer. Now, I'm not saying that to you because you knew him. I'm saying that to the audience, and the fact that we can have you on to maybe talk about your relationship with Coach and how special he was is a real privilege for us.
Well, thank you. I consider it a privilege to have been a long time. From Mike Leach to my family is family. Mike and my brother were best friends in college. They're both my rugby, and my brother was a rugby player at BYU. And Mike went on to get his law degree at Pepperdine University, and we know about the background of his football career and how he got started into it. What you hear from Mike Leach, or what you've heard in the past about all those great sound bites and, talking about Winston Churchill while he's dialing up an air raid offense, is, in truth, that's not made up. Mike doesn't sit home. Now, Mike sits home and pontificates when he was alive about a lot of things, which makes him unique in itself, and he's a brilliant man. Matter of fact, probably too smart for all of us, right?
Right.
But he can think out of both sides of his brain at the same time. I had a hard time, and I'm still struggling with this badly because like I said, late night Mike, if you call him at 2 a.m, he will answer. Call Mike at 7 a.m, Mike's not going to answer. So late night, I've had some phenomenal football and life conversations with Mike, and he is family to my family. And I'm sickened by this because, and my brother said this about when my dad was dying, and my mother. My older brother's got a lot of wisdom. Mike's, one of his best friends, as I said, is then when my brother said it, it took me aback a little bit at my dad's memorial at our funeral. He said, we were discussing, and he was giving a talk to the congregation, and he said, I've never been more grateful for a terminal disease than I am today. And you're thinking, well, what do you mean? And he, as ever, my brother said, because I got to say goodbye to my dad. A lot of people aren't fortunate enough to do that, meaning, whether it's a car accident or something like Mike. Imagine a family member that hadn't seen him in a month or two, or talked to him in 2 weeks, and you hear this news going on, and you can't talk to him, and a day and a half later, he's passed away. Imagine what that must be like. And people go through it every day, I know. But we were able to say goodbye knowing what the end result was going to be in my family, with my mom and dad. I was fortunate that I flew out. I've had in years, because Mike comes to my golf tournament, but we haven't had it in a few years, and we had a great time. Needless to say, I had no idea that this was going to happen. Neither did anybody else, nor did Mike. So it is family, and it was gut-wrenching, and it still is. And his good wife and the kids, and I spent two of his kids were at when I was there to visit him. And Mike is just who he is. And the one thing, the humor, the dry sense of humor, the incredible personality, the great soundbite. But Mike, one thing people I think know but didn't enough is Mike's compassion, not only for people, but for society, everything about Mike Leach. And he can be tough, holding up chairs on the sidelines. He's a message sender, but there's a reason he does it. And this is the thing that hit me even the hardest. Please, I beg us all. I don't know why we have to celebrate and tell people how important they are to us when they die.
Yeah.
I don't know why we can't tell people how important they are to us when they're alive. And I made sure I did that with my dad. When I knew my dad was dying and there was he had about a week left, I threw a party for all the family and friends. We had people coming from out of state to be because they loved my dad. They got to say goodbye to my dad while my dad was still sitting up and alive. And my dad, I asked him, he said, yeah, I wanted them to celebrate my dad so he could see his friends and his family. We need to do more of that. I miss Mike Leach. I've cried enough in the last week for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it happens to a lot of people. Mike was special to me, and I know special to the college football world. And some didn't get to say goodbye to him, and that's tragic.
I would say this, and I'm not trying to push the issue here, but just because I do love you so much, you've had, other than your family losses you've dealt with, but in between the ones we're aware of, Coach Leach, obviously John Clayton, over the last few months, couple years that you've had to deal with. And Sean, I imagine it's bittersweet, but knowing that you had such a close relationship with two guys like that, and we're one of the few people to actually be able to know them as deeply as you did, not only obviously is that an honor for you, but also I would imagine heals your heart a little bit that you knew these guys so well. You did spend time with them.
Absolutely. And I was going to mix in there in between also my best friend in my life from high school and all the way up passed away on Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah, that's right.
And last 2 years ago. So it's, we're at an age at times when it happens, but it happens to all ages. And I don't think you're ever prepared for it, Dave. But what I am grateful for is that I was able to be there and share times with people that I have lost. I talked to John every single week before he passed away. We were able to share and continue our laughs, and he went fast, unfortunately. But fortunately, there was no suffering. But I was able to, over the last 5 years, every single week, we'd go on each other's show. So usually twice a week. And with Mike Leach, I'd have probably felt a lot worse. And had I not, and I still speak to him often, but had I not went to see him, and I questioned, do I really want to fly to Starkville, over the summer? And now you look back and say, you never know. Life's about moments. And a lot of times we regret the things we didn't do more than we did. And I'll sure as hell never regret going and spending about 3 or 4 hours with, well, it's longer than that, but the time we just sat talking with Mike Leach before, not knowing that this was going to happen 5 or 6 months later.
The last thing on that, Sean, when you eventually become the head coach of a major college program or in the NFL, and I'm 100% certain that will happen if you want it, how much of Coach Leach is going to be there in your headset?
A lot of it. I was the offensive coordinator. I was in Dallas this past week, Dave. Houston Nutt was the one coach, Scott Frost the other, for the U.S. Army All-American game in Dallas, Frisco, Texas, at the Star where Jerry's team practices. And we played Saturday in the Army All-American game on Bally's, and I was the offensive coordinator for Coach Nutt's side. And what a great week with both coaching staffs. But I called the plays for the entire game. We won and beat Scott Frost's team. And we had a special play for Coach Leach, which is his favorite, which is the mesh play. But a lot of the offense I ran, and it was inside zone, shallow crossers, slants, get it out on time, has Mike Leach's thumbprint all over it. And if and when I'm calling plays or head coach for somebody, nowadays we're not just one offense, we do a lot. You take the stuff from people you love and what they do, and Mike Leach's offense changed. I mean, think about Lawrence Taylor's performance to change linebackers or Randy Moss wide receivers. What Mike Leach and Hal Mummy and that group did. And think about Lincoln Riley and Dana Holgerson, that tree of coaching of what it's done. Yeah, Mike Leach has made an impact on college football that will last forever. We're never going back to not having ball come out quickly and throw it accurately. Mike was big on make me the common, simple play, and I've lived by that for a long time.
I look up and we're out of time, it makes me miss our old podcast days because we could do this for 3 hours.
Right.
I will get murdered by our local Niner fans if I let you off the phone without asking you a very simple question. Again, we're out of time, but I know we can truncate. Brock Purdy, really
in 30 seconds. Yep.
Brock Purdy, really week 3. You're the quarterback's guy. What did you see out of him? Likes, dislikes, if at all, out of that Thursday night game?
I think that Brock understands if there's a weakness to stay out of it, and he's playing with confidence, and Kyle is not holding him down. Now, if you can throw 21, 22 times and win with that defense, great, but if they post 24 points and he protects the football, they're going to run through the NFC. Nobody's going to score 4 touchdowns on them, I don't believe, in the postseason or from here on out. But Brock Purdy's doing more than managing a game. He's using his feet and making plays. And I don't know when the last time I saw a rookie this poised under the circumstances, this quick, It's still a lot to go, but the early returns are you can win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy at quarterback as long as he protects the football.
My man, thank you so much for sharing those feelings this morning. It's a lot of great messaging for people to hear, especially around the holidays. This will be our last conversation before Christmas. So, I love you immensely. Thank you so much for all you do for us.
Love you too, brother. Merry Christmas to you and all those who listen, and be healthy and be good to your family, and tell people you care about them, folks. It matters. Thanks, bud.
See you, buddy. That's Sean Salisbury. We'll take a break. When we come back, NFL, we've got power rankings, and I've got brand new Super Bowl and NFL award odds for you. Where are the Niners? Where are the Niner players? Well, I'll tell you in about 2 minutes.
Breaking news, the latest happenings with your favorite teams.
You ever wonder about what the heck all these kids are doing on computers all the time?
Stay up to date with all of it by following us on Instagram and Twitter.
Excuse me, gentlemen, a little update for you.
At Sactown 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Byers Enterprises.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday starts out quite cool once again with mainly cloudy skies, overcast conditions. Don't be alarmed if there's a stray shower this afternoon. Otherwise, looking at a dry day with temperatures in the low 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
'Tis the season for winter storms. Protect your home with Byers Leaf Guard gutter systems. The only one-piece seamless system guaranteed to be clog-free. Save up to $700 off installation labor. Visit that'sbyers.com for details.
That's Byers!
There is beauty and there's uncomfort in owning an older home. The craftsmanship back then, the way they were built, the character, all have their positives. Now, on the other side, older homes need some love and some tenderness, and in our case, some help. Jason Ross here to tell you about the help we're getting thanks to ACR Solar. Now, you hear solar, and you know what? Yes, they do solar, but after years and years of living at our house, the time has come to get a new roof. Our old roof has done its job, but it is done. It's tired, and it looks it. So after doing the proper research and talking with several roofing companies, we landed on ACR Solar. They stood out from the first visit when Joe, their roofing expert, came out and shared his knowledge. We knew at that moment we were at ease because we were in good hands. Also, after our conversations with John, the owner of ACR Solar, that just confirmed what my wife and I already knew, that ACR Solar was the right choice for us. So we're so excited to begin our journey with ACR Solar. We're going to have a beautiful new roof, become more energy efficient, and have the peace of mind we're looking for. ACR Solar, 916-481-2700, or you can visit them at acrsolar.com.
Maida Chevy saves you an extra $2,000 off factory sticker plus big factory rebates on almost every new Silverado half-ton in stock with 2.7-liter engine.
Find big red tag savings at MaidaChevy.com. Find new roads.
Ends 1/3/23. Excludes ZR2 Trail Boss and Work Trucks.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
Tune in every Wednesday to the Carmichael Dave with Jason Ross show for Wine Wednesday, where they whine about plays, calls, everything from the past week in sports. Wine Wednesday, brought to you by E2 Family Winery.
American Energy wants to make sure you and your family are safe this winter with a $49 furnace tune-up. Plus, if you're ready for a new one, get half off with American Energy's 50% off furnace special. With 0% financing and payment plan options available, there's no reason to keep putting off making your home safe, warm, and comfy for you and your family this holiday. Call American Energy today at 916-520-9990 or visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. 50% off furnace when you purchase a whole home HVAC system. Limited time only. Cannot be combined with other offers or specials.
Santa's doing trucks at M&S Auto on El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. And nothing says happy holidays like a Silverado 4x4, Tacoma, or Wrangler from M&S Auto, the intelligent car buying experience. And with over 300 vehicles in stock right now, you can choose the truck you love today and bring home your holiday tree with it tonight. Trucks, Teslas, American muscle cars, M&S Auto Group, the intelligent car buying experience. MSAutogroup.com.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Actual pie customer.
The other workers' comp insurance company, they were going to reclassify our business, and then they were going to charge me $50,000.
Meet Natalie, owner of the carpentry shop. Shocked by an unexpected bill, she knew it was time to switch her workers' comp provider. That's when she found Pi Insurance.
When we got the quote back from Pi, it was a sigh of relief. They put us in a policy where we fit.
Is your small business overpaying for workers' comp insurance? See how much you could save at trypi.com. Plus, with pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, which means no additional bill if your business grows.
I'm grateful that there's a company out there that's willing to insure us little guys because every dollar counts.
With Pi Insurance, you get pricing and coverage made for small businesses. What are you waiting for? Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote in 3 minutes at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Sactown Sports headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The Kings opened up a 6-game homestand against the lowly Charlotte Hornets and in the end came up short.
Is the Herder, turns, fires for 3, no good, ball game over. So, 125-119, give credit to Steve Clifford and the Hornets. Their first win since the 2nd of December. Sacramento can look at a variety of things tonight that ended up costing them. The beam will not be lit this evening in Doko.
Domantas Sabonis continued his all-star level play, scoring 28 points while pulling down 23 rebounds and adding 7 assists. The Kings look to get back in the win column tomorrow night against the Lakers. The defending Super Bowl champion Rams were still technically in playoff contention last night, but the Packers had any hope of LA making it back to defend their title.
The Green Bay Packers take care of business in the season of hope in Green Bay with a 24-12 victory over the Rams. They keep hope alive.
The Packers remain a game and a half behind the Commanders for the final playoff spot in the NFC. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. On Sactown Sports, 1140.
2 shows after this one for me at least. I'll be back on the 4th. It'll be Jason Ross and Christopher Laud next week. Jay will be off as well.
Yep.
Wishing you all happy holidays. Want to remind you, if you missed some or all of this program, you always subscribe on Sactown Sports. Subscribe on Sactown Sports and watch it. My wife was listening to Cowdles and Rami yesterday and heard them. I don't know if I got it right, but Rami didn't like the camera placement. I have to move the camera every day that he uses because of where my computers are.
Sure. Computers.
And
Dave's setup is like the Starship Enterprise.
Gotta monitor everything.
You have like 3 computers.
Well, I don't count this one's just
you should.
I guess it's 3. Maybe I need a 4th right here.
I think that's a good idea. With a stand.
Nick said something about the chair, I think. Nick's 5'2" and he uses the shortest chair in the room. I'm 6'4" and I use the tallest chair in the room. We got to meet in the middle or something. And then he said something. I don't know what he said. My wife didn't know. He said something about the keyboard. Oh, keyboard's right here. I don't do anything with the keyboard. I don't know, man. It's a shared workspace. I'll tell you this much. I try to leave the workspace better than I found it every day. Everything's
Falling shows is all I see coming up on the horizon.
Come on, man. I have Super Bowl. I have some odds for you here in a second. Super Bowl odds and also individual awards. But power rankings. Now, how do you want to do this? You want to run the bed and do the thing?
Well, there's the bed, so I guess we should do the thing.
Now, there's the thing. I'm just throwing out power rankings. Are you throwing them out too?
I'm going to have you do it.
Okay. I know you're hurt. That's okay. You know what? I Atlas, carry the...
Look at you.
I've been carrying a big load this week.
Not I.
The big question for me this week was Minnesota, and what do I do with them in the top 5? I just don't buy Minnesota. I haven't bought Minnesota. Props to them. Sometimes you do get a team that just has destiny on their side. I don't think so. I have the Vikings at 6, but this is a top 5. What I do buy is the fact that the Bengals have won 6 in a row. They're red hot. They're the defending AFC champions. They went into Tampa and smacked Tom Brady after being down big early. They're 10-4. They're poised to be there. One of the big 3 in the AFC, along with Kansas City and Buffalo. I'm going to put them at number 5. I just think I can't put Minnesota ahead of Cincinnati. At number 4, your San Francisco 49ers. You may ask, why aren't they higher? Well, they could be. But I really want to try to, A, be as non-biased as possible, and B, they are 10-4. And one of the teams ahead of them, they lost to in the regular season. Number 3, how can I have the Niners ahead of the Philadelphia Eagles? Now, if you told me the Eagles were going to be without Jalen Hurts for the rest of the year, I would have them out of my top 5. That doesn't seem to be the case. I think a lot of people would argue they're number 1, but much like the Vikings, not as quite, but as much, but similar. I look at the Eagles' schedule. I look at their one loss. I look at the fact that they're kind of, I don't want to say out of nowhere, but I can't put them ahead of these next 2 teams in good conscience. So I do have Philly ahead of the Niners, but I have them behind number 2, the Buffalo Bills. Let's be honest. Obviously, the Chiefs are number 1. You could flip-flop those 2 any day of the week, but the Chiefs are looking chiefy, man, at the right time. This is a dynastic-style team. I understand they just have the 1 Super Bowl on this run, but they do have a Super Bowl. But they are a Super Bowl favorite and have been every year for the last few years. And this is, and that to me is at least a contention dynasty. Dynastic teams tend to peak at the end of the year, and it appears that is what they're doing. And right now, for me, you can flip a coin between Buffalo and Kansas City. Those are the 2 teams to beat. But any team in that top 5 could be a Super Bowl winner in my book, honest to goodness.
Agreed.
If you told me any of those teams would win the Super Bowl, it would not shock me in the least. And according to the odds, you want to talk about power rankings, I'll give you the odds power ranking wise for or the power ranking odds in order of who is least to most favorite to win the Super Bowl. Coming in at number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals. Coming in at number 4, the San Francisco 49ers, February 14th, were 14-1 to win the Super Bowl. They are now 11-2. Do some simple math. That's 5.5 to 1. They have moved up. The Chiefs in 3rd. They are the 3rd most likely team to win the Super Bowl at 5-1. Followed by number 2, the Philadelphia Eagles at 9-2. And at just under 4-1, like 3 7/8 to 1, the Buffalo Bills, the most likely team to win the Super Bowl. Odds to win the NFC Championship, the Eagles number 1, just trailed by the San Francisco 49ers, the Cowboys, Vikings, the 2 behind them. And when we go to individual numbers, I thought this was kind of interesting. We mentioned earlier, yesterday, Jalen Hurts was the favorite, and Patrick Mahomes is 2nd. After the injury news, Patrick Mahomes is now an overwhelming favorite, while Josh Allen has moved up to 3rd. Joe Burrow also getting into the conversation. Defensive Player of the Year, there's only 2 players left on the board now. It's a 2-person battle. And Nick Bosa has now passed Micah Parsons as far as Vegas is concerned for Defensive Player of the Year.
It took 15 weeks?
It took 15 weeks.
Wow.
Coach of the Year? This is neat to see. Nick Sirianni, Philadelphia Eagles, still a pretty solid favorite at number 1. But look at Dan Campbell sitting at number 2, and at number 3, Kyle Shanahan. Number 3 for Coach of the Year. Comeback Player of the Year. Number 1, Geno Smith. Number 4, Saquon Barkley. Number 3, Jared Goff. And number 2, a guy you might not think of being in this race, but it makes a lot of sense. Number 2, Comeback Player of the Year odds, Christian McCaffrey. This I thought was interesting. Final one here. 2022 Offensive Rookie of the Year. Number 1, Garrett Wilson. Overwhelming favorite, 2-5 odds. Number 2, Kenny Walker, Seattle, running back, 6-1 odds. Hey, Jay, number 3, 8-1 odds. Ahead of Christian Watson, Chris Olave, Brian Robinson Jr., Isaiah Pacheco, Damian Pierce, Kenny Pickett. Number 3 for the 2022 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Brock Purdy.
That's insane.
It's not accurate. It's It's accurate as far as that's where the odds go.
Sure.
There's literally zero chance. There's that's called people just want to come in and put a little money down.
It sounds like a lot of fun, but nah.
You imagine. Good for Brock. I don't have it in front of me, Jay, but I'm just going to guess it's the first time in history that the reigning Mr. Irrelevant has been top 3 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think that that's a stat I just made up, but I'm pretty sure it's accurate. We'll take a break. When we come back, we wrap up the show with news and notes. We got some sports notes for you in there as well. What day of the week is it this week? What's the national holiday? What the heck is completely taking over my life now when I'm off the air? And celebrity birthdays and who's hot, who's not. We'll do that next.
Hey, Kings fans, you got questions? We got answers. Send all your Kings questions to kingsmailbag@sactownsports.com and have them answered by the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and Cattles and Rami during our Kings Mailbag segment every Friday on Sactown Sports' YouTube channel.
Subscribe today by searching Sactown Sports on YouTube.
The only place to get wall-to-wall Kings coverage in the 916, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
This holiday season, give the gift they'll really love. A new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda.
Happy Honda days are happening right now. Trade in and trade up. Get top dollar for your trade and take advantage of low APR financing and great lease rates at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2020 total new car sales from American Honda Motor Company Zone 1 report.
Christmas time is here, and so are all of the greatest deals on power tools at Fasteners Tool Outlet. Enjoy 12 days of deals on all your favorite brands going on now. Grab free batteries with tons of Makita products and more of this year's greatest deals. Save $100 on a Makita 18-volt rear handle circular saw and take home 2 free batteries to top it off. Stop by Fasteners Tool Outlet at 6701 Power Inn Road today through December 23rd. or shop online at fastenersinc.net.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more. And you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
Updated COVID vaccines are here, just in time for the season that brings us all closer. Just in time for added protection against the original COVID virus and Omicron. Just in time for crowded stores and great big family dinners. Updated COVID protection is here. And if you haven't had a vaccine since September, it's time to give yourself the gift of updated protection. Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Life doesn't stop when the economy is uncertain. The market might not care you have a wedding to plan or a kid to put through school. And inflation doesn't know you've got a family to feed. But Bank of America does, and is here to help. With digital tools to help you save and local experts in Central New York, you can keep life moving forward the way you need it to. Bank of America. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at BofA.com/Central New York. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC equal credit opportunity lender.
It's the Hanley's Davis Kia year-end sales event. Kia Season of Giving Back. With our biggest inventory of the year. Most models in stock now. Get our best price now with no hassle, no headache, no games. Here's how it works. Go to HanleysDavisKia.com. That's HANLEES DavisKia.com. Pick the model you're interested in and click Unlock Instant Best Price. It's that easy. No hassle, no games, just our best low price. Special financing available. Look for a great deal on a new Kia without playing games. Go to HANLEES DavisKia.com. Pick your model and click Unlock Instant Best Price. That's it. Big savings, great deal, and no hassle. Our biggest inventory of the year in stock now. Hanley's Davis Kia, located at 4318 Childs Road, just off I-80 at the Maze Boulevard exit in Davis. All of us at Hanley's wish you and your family a very happy holiday. All financing subject to credit approval.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back this May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge, and so many more. Plus a boot scootin' line dancing saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Air and Solar, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
Who is hot?
Who? Tell me. Come on. I want to know.
Dame Lillard of the Portland Trailblazers.
You know what's funny? I don't know why. It's the first time I've ever thought this, but when you say it like that, I think of like Dame Judi Dench.
Who?
Dame, how that's like it's a title for some like English royalty and stuff.
Oh,
like
yes.
Dame Lillard.
Dame Lillard.
He is hot.
Some would call him Mr. Blazer. You know why? Because he leads the Blazer. He's their franchise record holder in the following categories: points, threes, 20-point games, 30-point games, 40-point games, 50-point games, 60-point games, 5-3 games, and 10-3 games.
We asked the question earlier, is he the greatest Blazer ever? Obviously, Clyde Drexler. We both came to the conclusion that not yet, but Clyde's warm in the chair.
Sure.
But I could be argued out of that argument, too. I don't know how much of that is factual and how much of that is old.
Yeah, no, it is kind of a generational thing. Yeah. Who's not?
Who isn't?
Nah, the Rams.
Oh.
With their loss last night, the Rams were eliminated from the playoffs.
Sure were.
It's the second earliest a defending Super Bowl champion has been eliminated from playoff contention in the last 30 seasons. Only the 1999 Broncos, who were eliminated in week 14, were eliminated sooner.
Well, what are you going to do?
Win more games.
Before we get to, let me throw you a curveball here, a little mini curveball. Before we get to the news and notes, would you mind giving me the breaking news sound?
Absolutely.
This is actually quite significant that just happened.
When it breaks, we have it first. Sactown Sports 1140.
Breaking news.
Augusta National has announced that any golfer who qualified for the Masters based on its previous criteria will be invited to play in 2023, and that includes 16 players that are currently competing in the LIV Golf League. 6 past Masters champions are part of the group that defected from the PGA. Defected sounds like they're crossing to an enemy country. Bubba Watson, Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, Sergio Garcia, Patrick Reed, Charles Schwartzel. Australia's Cam Smith, the number 3 ranked player in the world, qualifies because he won the 22 Open. Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka, because they have won the U.S. Open or PGA in the last 5 years. Joaquin Niemann and Taylor Gooch.
The Gooch.
I love that name. Are in the field because they qualified for the season-ending Tour Championship before leaving for LIV and have been ranked in the top 50. Abraham Answer, Harold Varner III, Jason Kokrak, Kevin Na, and Louis Oosthuizen are also in the top 50. That's interesting and going to be a major story surrounding Augusta National. It will be interesting to see how the PGA and the PGA players react. It will also be interesting if you've got some of those players paired up with guys like Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, some of the golfers who've been very vocal. Will there be on-course brawls? Will there be sunscreen and coconut oil and golf gloves flying everywhere, Cliff Bars, a banana, some trail mix,
Pimento cheese
sandwiches, egg salad sandwiches being thrown? It's gonna be crazy in Augusta. News and notes right now, please. please.
Stand by on this frequency.
It's time for the news of the day.
Thank you for ruining the show and dropping a steamer on my journalistic integrity.
Today's important headlines, intelligent analysis, hard-hitting interviews.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
Here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Oh my God, I love those guys.
Some breaking news that actually matters. My cousin down in L.A. just texted me asking if I was okay.
You died?
No, but she was worried because a 6.4 magnitude earthquake has struck the Humboldt County area, Ferndale, to be precise. There
Love
is
Ferndale.
no power or water in many parts of that area. According to the authorities, no tsunami is imminent, but more than 71,000 customers, about 72% of those in Humboldt County, lost power as of 4:45 in the morning. Widespread damage to roads and homes, at least 2 injuries, both from falls, but as of yet does not appear to be anything serious. And we've learned in the past to hold our breaths and cross our fingers, because sometimes you get reports of injuries or worse later. But sounds like, as I almost fell off the counter here, sounds like, which would be fantastic, that for the most part people are okay. That's a pretty big earthquake, man. 6.4.
Yeah, I didn't even feel it.
I've never felt an earthquake
really in
my life. Never. And I was watching the World Series with my sister and my friend Justin. Not you, by the way. I was watching the Giants and A's, or getting ready to, and all of a sudden we look over and we had a little hanging light over the dining room table, and it was swaying. And we went outside, and our little swimming pool was whoosh, whoosh. I never felt it.
Saw it but didn't feel it.
I saw it but didn't feel it. That's the closest I've ever got.
The only time I remember feeling an earthquake was that night. It was in, I want to say 2013. It was that rally they held at Cesar Chavez Park when the Kings officially stayed. Do you remember when there was an earthquake?
I do remember
that one.
I didn't, but I very much remember that. Yes, the Kings fans shook the world that evening,
as we liked to claim.
What we said. So, anyways, hope everybody is certainly okay. Today is Go Caroling Day.
No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Have you ever been Christmas caroling?
No.
Never. I have never been. No, I did once. Our across the street neighbor's house burnt down. I was like 8 years old, and they stayed with us for Christmas, and we went up the street Christmas caroling for donations. It had to be the worst thing ever, but hey, we got some cash.
There you go.
Today is National Stephen Day. To honor those named Stephen.
Now, is it Stephen with a V or PH?
They make it very clear that both versions are considered correct, whether it's Stephen or spelled Stephen, which makes me...
Or now, Step-hin.
Right. So here's a question. Is Steph Curry, is he eligible for Mount Stephen more? He's a Stephen, but he's actually a Wardell.
No, that's the thing. He's Mount Wardell more.
Steven Tyler?
Sure.
Steve Buscemi?
Stephen
Hawking for sure. That's number one, actually. So Hawking, Tyler. By the way, Stephen Hawking, a complete sentence.
Steve Avery. No.
I mean, God bless him, but
Steve Young.
Yeah. Okay. So far we have Stephen Tyler, Stephen Hawking, Stephen Young, and Steve Buscemi. I'm sure
I feel like we'll find someone that's better than Buscemi.
Has there ever been a presidential Stephen?
Yes.
Stephen F. Austin? No, that's not.
Stephen Eisenhower. White was his middle name.
Steve Buchanan. Stephen Roosevelt.
Yes, Stephen Roosevelt was a great president.
Steve Jobs. Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Steve Jobs.
Oh, God. They're killing it on the text line. Hello, knock, knock. Who's there? Oh, Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's had a couple films.
This is weird. Today is National Sangria Day. But why would you have Sangria Day in December?
That's a weird day for it.
Shouldn't it be in like July?
That's definitely more of a summer beverage.
I'm not a drinky McDrinker.
No, you're correct on that.
But it's a summer beverage.
Yeah.
And today is finally it's National Games Day, whether it be board games, video games, whatever. Jay, you're a dork like me, so you'll be happy to know. My outside this show life for the last 3 days has been consumed playing Super Mario Galaxy on my kid's Switch. I actually have reappropriated the Switch from downstairs to my bedroom.
I'm proud of you.
I can't get enough, man. That's such a great game.
It is. It's so you can't call it underrated, but I would say not as appreciated as it should.
But and then the sequel was just as good, if not better.
I never played the sequel. I beat the first one on the old Wii.
Dude, the sequel is so fantastic. It's like they took everything good about the first one and just made it even better. It's not out on Switch yet, though, so come on, nerds.
Come on, Switch.
Come on, dorks.
Why don't you switch over to getting us that game? Nailed it. It was good for one today.
I want to get to celebrity birthdays. I just want to check and make sure I'm not leaving anything out. Oh, hey, how about this? Markelle Fultz this December. Here's his boxes here. 24, 20, 16, and 15 points.
It sounded so ADD.
6, 5, 9, and 5 assists.
Just jumped to Markelle Fultz's box score.
Okay, all right. Domantas Sabonis has 3 2020 games this year.
Yep.
Which, if you add up everyone else in the NBA who has 2020 games this year, he has 3 times as many.
There you go.
He has 3. They have 1. Finally, Jay, congratulations. I know you've always wanted this. For the low price of $22.5 million, you can buy Sylvester Stallone's Hidden Hills, California house. 10,500 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 8 baths, a pool, a gym, and a movie theater, and a 4-stable barn and riding area for horses. That's in Hidden Hills. My goodness. Any major birthdays today?
Got a couple. R.I.P. to this guy, but I know it's a favorite of yours. John Spencer from the West Wing. How old would John Spencer have been today?
I want to say John would have been 76.
Close, 74.
Yeah.
How about the great Alan Parsons from the Alan Parsons Project?
Sirius. S-I-R-I-U-S. Alan Parsons is 80.
Not quite. He's 72.
Oh, wow. Yeah, better than I thought.
Former New York Mets legend David Wright has a birthday today. How old is David Wright?
I'm going to say David Wright is 44.
You aged him. He's only 40.
Wow.
And finally, happy birthday to our very own De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox is 25 years young today. Congratulations, De'Aaron. And family, have a happy birthday.
De'Aaron can rent a car.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. For a struggling Jay Mars, we appreciate you. And for everybody else, Jim Roma is next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
You hear the phrase a lot this time of year.